Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Red Bull Faster Playoffs Stage 2. We have the top 100 players from the qualifier. They are battling for the top 8 spots that will make it to the in-person final in Milton Keynes and a prize pool of $50,000. It is crazy. It's one of the biggest prize pools we've ever had in Trackmania. We are currently on the server for match number 1. There are 4 matches, each with 25 players from the quali. We have the qualifier winner on the server. Mudda is warming up right now, if we find him through the field. We also have Carl Jr., who is the current reigning world champion. We are actually starting on aerobatic. This map is one of the most visually stunning we have in the map pack. Takes inspiration from flying, and we are at Red Bull's Hangar 5, an actual IRL location. If you Google Red Bull Hangar 5, you'll see this place. And they've recreated it in Trackmania and made blocks that make it look like you're flying through the sky on a full speed part. We also start with this cinematic drop down where it looks like you are Felix Baumgartner jumping from the stratosphere. There's quite a lot of tricks on this map, and most important is to speed slide on these glass blocks. Mudda is one of the best at it, and so while he's behind Samifying here, he has more speed down to the landing strip, and after the flying is done, he is in first in the warm-up. The format they are playing is knockouts with lives. If you look on the left here, you'll see each player has 3 hearts next to their name. They will preserve those hearts if they drive in the upper part of the field. If you drive the slowest times, you will lose a heart, and when you're out of hearts, you are also out of the match. You have to be consistent, avoid mistakes, and most importantly, avoid being in the last 5 spots to start here in the first couple of rounds. There's also an extra condition, which is that if you win the 4th and final round on the map, the so-called golden round, you can regain 1 heart. So if you have lost a heart, you can risk in the golden round and try to gain 1 back. Here you can see it. 5 players will lose a life, and we are off on the first round in the first match of the Red Bull Faster Playoffs. Good luck, have fun, get some hype in the chat, in YouTube chat and Twitch chat, and cheer for the players you want to see win. A lot of nationalities represented here with Mudda from Australia, currently playing at about 3 AM local time. We also have The Peace from Brazil, Lingo from Canada, Ixon from Croatia, and out of the start, we don't see that many mistakes, though. Some players close to half a second behind. Radiaxo, I think, with the first big mistake, missing that slide. Also down here with Auris, who's made a mistake, and Lingo, one of the favorites, could be in danger in the first round. They're going through the technical go-kart section now inside the hangar, and Lingo is regaining some spots. Now just 2 turns remaining. It's quite close here. In 18th for who is going to be in. Spooter is trying his best to stay alive with 3 hearts, but Yakosto might snipe him here on the finish rate, just short by 600ths of a second. And so Yakosto, Akros, New Prime, Radiaxo, and Auris are the first to lose a heart. Scroll down, you can see them. 1 heart less, and the winning time, 54-54. Mudda winning the round by half a second. Mudda absolutely not in danger on this map. If he drives pace like that, he can even afford to fail a round if he's able to win the last one, right? Provides a lot of comfort. But you see the players in the start here. It's very unique on full speed that, and in Trackmania, that the best lines are often not the most aesthetically pleasing. They can be quite bumpy, they can be quite, like, bouncy landings, rotating the car, etc. You'll see it on the start there, if you pay attention, where the players intentionally do this trick to reduce airtime. Quickly looking back here to see if Samifying survived that bump. He did fall quite far down, but not down into the danger. Though right now, Radiaxo and Yakosto have both lost a life, and they're looking like they might lose another. Spooter and Lego too far behind, I think, to make anything happen. What about Yakosto right now? Behind Radiaxo, and it looks like they will lose 2 in a row to start this match. Radiaxo able to save himself. Yakosto just shy of safety and will lose 2 hearts in the first 2. And they're also interesting. New Prime, after making a mistake, won the next round. So he could be a candidate to win the golden round. But look at the start now from Mudda, if you pay attention. He goes out to the left, then goes to the right and air brakes to get the car to bump so that he can speed slide with the front tires. And this is faster than just landing clean on the blocks. It's weird how it works, but it works. And with 2 weeks of practice, you'll figure things like that out. These maps released the 7th of February, and so players have had time to prepare and find the lines they want to go for. Javso with a really dangerous line there, almost hitting the wall in 2 spots. Now going around, everyone going on the outside. This is also a scary approach. Won't be able to get that wide for the drift. Thus loses the gear. No slide! Oh, and a face plant. Don't know who that was. That was Link Max. Fastest way only into the tire stack. And he will undoubtedly lose a life. Samifying also too far away from the safety spots. Javso able to save himself. Scary, scary part there in the go-kart part. Spooter now also down to 1 life, and so is Radioxo and Akros. But now is the chance where they can gain a heart back. Let's jump on board with Akros. If they risk now in the so-called golden round, they could gain it back. I think one player missed the ramp on the left side in the start there, which could be disastrous. Not sure who it was. Mudda also going fast up front, but New Prime, look at this, is missing a heart and is looking like he's challenging for this spot right now. Drifting close on the inside line. Mudda will overtake first place temporarily, but it's a car length of a difference. That's a big crash from, was it Samifying or was it Skundir? So one of the two. New Prime still continuing this push for the heart, and he might be able to get it. He has 2 turns remaining. As we now look a little bit back though to see Akros and Spooter. 1 heart left, and at the bottom of the leaderboards, they are not going to be able to make it out of this map. They will be eliminated here. And the winner of the round, Carl Jr. actually. Not sure what happened with New Prime, but wasn't able to get the heart. Link Max losing another as well. But our first 2 KOs, Spoder and Akros, GG's. 5 players still gonna lose a heart here until there's 18 players remaining. That's when it changes to 4 players losing a heart. So in the start here, there used to be tricks that you could do to get a better line, but they changed it so that you have to just press forward or else the start does not work. So everyone doing the same cliff dive, and now we're off to the actual race. We have 1 player that did get stuck, and that was New Prime. Might have had that crash I was talking about. Also Link now in grave danger as he only has 1 heart left. Same for Yakosto. Yakosto can maybe gain some back here with the water bug slide. Hits it well and is catching up to some players. Is actually in the clear for now. Link Max passes another 2. Yak has failed though through the ferry. And Link now is in the last safe spot. Has about a 2nd lead down to New Prime. And should be able to cling on here. But it's a lot worse for Yak and also for Carl Jr. Is there going to be anyone failing the ending? He needs 2 mistakes in the end. Link jumping far. Will still make it. And unfortunately for Yak, he is eliminated from the tournament. And Carl, yeah, Carl losing a heart. New Prime also losing a heart. New Prime was in the finals of XP Evo, almost won that tournament. So seeing him down to 1 HP already is a bit of a surprise. I think we will see New Prime risk the golden round here, if he can make it to it. He was intent on risking the golden round previously. Now, definitely gonna try. And is he gonna do the hit again? Is going for that wall hit. And here you can see when it works, it's very, very fast. So it does pay off. Everyone within 0.3. No one's failed to start yet. Nico very wide. Almost making contact with the sign there, avoiding it. Here's surfing through the wave. Link with a different line from the rest. So we see now the water bug slide. It's a very close round so far. No one's made a mistake. There goes one though into the fence. Not sure who it was. See it on the splits. Was it Mithy? No, it was not. It was Soppy. Soppy with that big crash. What about the race here for survival? It looks like Javso's in the clear. Last spot in the clear with Nico. Hill in the red before we go to the water bounce on the pillow here. But he's risking! Ah, misses it! Bounces off the finish ring, goes too fast. And therefore loses a heart. Link Max out now. Fastest way only. Out in 19th in this match, but still a good effort from Link. We are going to have 4 more players lose a heart this round. It's unchangeable. Someone will have to go out in the first couple spots Unfortunate for Link, it ended up being him. Next round out, though. Still a couple of players flawless so far. Skundir flawless. Nico also flawless. Mudda, and I believe we saw Tween as well, with no hearts lost. Javso also, but in the red this time. As we go into the water, important to hit this right approach good, because then it gives you the left. With this kind of line, you're in danger of not making the jump. Oh, some people crashed. I think I saw 3 cars not make it across. That was Nico and Auris. And Samifying, uh-oh. Sammy now in danger. Radiaxo has DNF'd, so he is going to be out. And all the other players know it's a matter of trying to save now. Just making sure you get the bounce, Javso! Is he still fine? Auris snipes the spot. He missed the bounce. Mudda still consistent at the top. Now we have, guys, the golden round. This is where everyone but 3 players can regain a heart. Will we see someone take the opportunity now? Will we see Carl Samifying? Will we see New Prime? Any of the fastest players willing to risk it for this heart? Let's find out. Lingo with a great start there. He has plenty of hearts to regain. Carl is up there as well. I think we should go with Carl here. If we can get him on our spectator client. Sorry for all the scrolling. Here we are with Carl in the water. It is Lingo up in front though with the piece. Good approach from Carl here. Good setup, and he will have a lot of speed to the left now. But it's currently still Lingo. Mudda battling someone off the left side there. Will it be Lingo? Mudda still challenging. It looks like no players are immediately out, but we can see Javso, Ixon near the bottom. Lingo risking right now, trying to get one heart back. It comes down to the bounce. Jumps very far, has to release, and Mudda snipes it away, keeping his competition at less than full health. And now we're going to Circuit. This map is the most simple one, the most plain one. 18 players left, 4 players lose a heart until we are down to 13 players, guys. And it's very likely right now that we'll start seeing some knockouts, because so many players down on 1 heart. On board with Tween, the runner-up in several World Cups on this map style, technical tracks. Has played Trackmania competitively for well over 13, 14 years at this point. Still going. Has not won World Cups, but has been very close. Has always been in contention. Carl Jr. 0.4 behind, down in the red. As we see him try to make this difference back. He's right on the cutoff, though. Such a close round, as predicted. Not clear at all who's going to take damage. We have the last drift. You try to get 5th gear so you can set it up better. Ixon was in the red, but he's maneuvering past a couple of players, hits the wall. He's going to lose a heart. And it looks like Hedra, Hill, and Sapi as well. Ixon out with that one crash, unfortunately. But all the other players within 0.5. The winning time, a 0.19. Unfortunate for these players, but still a good effort. Down to 14 players now. Still 4 players losing a heart. But the players that made it to top 16 there would have qualified to the final chance match. That is important to make clear. All the players that are remaining now, even if they get eliminated, have made it to final chance, and that means they still get one more chance later on today to try to make it to the top 8. But from now, the only player that automatically secures a spot is the winner of the match. So I don't know who won the split there in that top 16, since so many players got eliminated at the same time. Nico with a big mistake there on the grass, together with Carl, who is quite visibly struggling a bit here. Can he make it back in the ending and avoid losing further hearts? Passes Hedra, but like he needs to. Now needs to hold it past the tire stack, releases early and still finds the line. They're coming closer though. Oh, Mudda snipes him, but it's still enough. It's still enough. Him and Hedra within 0.3. Nico, Javso, Baptiste, and Mithy. Boom, boom, and boom. Skundir still on 3 lives left. It's kind of crazy, yeah. He is very consistent. Tween as well. Tween, Mudda, and Skundir. Then you have Lingo, Aris, and Carl on 2. And Legu, Sammy, New Prime, Hedra, and Nico on 1. It has to be really tense right now. You want to make it to that golden round. You want to get an opportunity at it. Still have to survive here. Lingo going very wide. It's going to overjump the downhill, so it doesn't gain as much as it looked like. After the landing. Nico with a big crash here. That might be him being out. Now only 3 players taking damage though. Tween in the red. See the uphill drift. Oh, getting a bit of a push there. Still making it so clean, Tween. And up on the left side now. No airtime. Trying to set up enough speed for the last line. Samifying in the red as well. Samifying and Nico far behind. Legu, can he make something happen? Almost able to pass Hedra, but Hedra has enough speed to stay ahead. And Auris actually made a mistake. Auris down to 1 HP. Sammy out. Good friend. Unfortunate for Sammy, but he still has a chance later on today. If you think about it, it's either you win now or you try again later. And winning with these players left when you're down to 1 HP, it's not at all easy. Let's follow Auris now, who is down to 1. Cannot make a mistake, and still yet he dares to go so close to the walls. Twice now. The speed just hasn't been there out of the first couple of drifts. The precision has... Oh, that's a mistake. Not Lingo. Someone else with a red car skin went into the wall. It's not Carl, it was Legu. Legu with a mistake. He might be out with that. Auris still trying. Carl still trying. Clearly doesn't have the best pace yet on this map, and there is also that golden heart up for grabs. Hedra is risking for it right now. He is down on 1, but he will likely be able to take it, and who is going to be out here? It's Skundir. Skundir by 6,000 stealing the heart, making sure no one else can have it. Legu out, and Carl and Lingo down on 1. Oh my, Carl and Lingo down on 1 heart. That is the main favorite to win this field. Down on just 1 heart. Skundir really impressing there. Denying Hedra. So we go to the full speed heavy map. This should be really good news for Mudda. Oh, okay. 2 players lose a heart. Have to be top 6 out of 8. Let's follow New Prime. Does he hit the trick? Doesn't go that far to the side this time. I think a wise decision. Giving himself a better chance at staying alive in the field. And out of the speed slides, it is Tween who has gotten the worst of it together with Hedra. It's already 0.3. Hedra with a good drift there, though. Has to add 1 more to not hit the wall. Weaving very close to the wall. Past the intersection, quite wide, and releasing a bit to get back on the trajectory. Will drop the gear there. And together with Carl now, he's still in danger. Oh, but Lingo makes a mistake, and Carl can pass. Still not out of the woods yet, as he's battling with Hedra. Hedra versus Carl for survival in the tournament. Hedra with a low line. Is Carl out? No, Carl passes him and holds on by 0.03 of a second. Looked for a moment there like Hedra had Carl beat, but Carl stays in. Lingo and Hedra out of the match. Still with the final chance later. And look at this distribution now. 3 players on 3 hearts, 3 players on 1 heart. 1 is Mudda, Tween, and Skundir gonna make a mistake. When are they gonna be put under pressure? So far, flawless match by them. Auris, Carl, and New Prime backs against the ropes. Cannot afford even just a few hundredths to get lost, as we saw from Carl there. But in the start here, not the best speed slides. Mudda and New Prime far in front. And Tween again losing that 0.3 for the long drift. Up the hill now. It seems like the field has split into 2 groups. Mudda, Carl, and New Prime looking rather safe. Auris, Tween, and Skundir though. Hard to make up the difference here. Carl falling a little bit behind the other leading players, but still has a safe margin. So we see Auris has made a big mistake. Can Skundir make anything happen in the end? It looks too far. Looks like Skundir is gonna take damage now. and lose his first heart of the match. 55.1 has been the time you need to drive better than twice in order to stay in the clear. Top 5. Top 5, 2 players lose a heart until we're top 4. Then it's only the slowest one. And this is the 3rd round, so you cannot regain a heart until the last and 4th round. Speed slides in the start. Skundir lost a little bit there. Together with Carl, this is dangerous stuff for Carl. He lost a lot in the speed slides, and there's not that many players he can catch. It's really only right now Skundir. The others have built up a really big gap, so this is a 1 versus 1 straight up, unless anyone up front makes a mistake. And Skundir did not get that drifting part into the hangar that well. Carl still ahead, pushing. Oh my, close to the walls. Continuing to risk because he doesn't know Skundir's pace until the straightaway. Now can maybe chill a bit more, realizing he has the gap. But, oh wait, I'm seeing it wrong. 2 players lose a heart, I'm seeing it wrong. He's out. Oh, I completely lost track of the number of players left. Carl out. It was actually far more dangerous than we realized. Carl out in 5th and has to go again in the final chance. Crazy, crazy stuff, guys. Crazy stuff. Not something you expect to happen. Carl, I said, had 70% equity to win this, and I think 70% of the time he probably does, but yeah. 4 players left now. Skundir down to 1 heart. New Prime on 1. Has been on 1 since the first 2 maps, New Prime. And now he is going to contest Mutta for that golden heart. Like he tried to when we were on this map in the first rotation. Mutta drives so fast though. Pulls away from the airstrip now. Towards the hangar, that's the first mistake for Mutta. A face plant on the left turn. And New Prime has a chance at this. And it's also safety for Skundir and Tween. New Prime looks to be able to get it. It's a little far for Skundir. It's not fully over, but yeah, it is too far. New Prime takes the heart back, 54.6. And that is an important moment to regain 1. Gives you a second chance. So now we will have Tween, the only player not to have crashed or taken damage. And New Prime back to 2, Mutta on 2, and Skundir on 1. Get some hype in the chat, guys. Only 1 person can win this match and secure a spot in the in-person finals. Straight away. And that is the last player standing. We go until there's only 1 man left in the field. And with the health bars right now, there aren't many rounds left. You gotta bring your best right now in the final rounds. Every player out of the start without any mistakes. New Prime with by far the best start. Skundir and Tween trailing the most into the surfing part. So we are weaving left and right onto the boost right now. Tween loses further time here. It's 0.2. Now the bug slide catches up to Skundir a bit, but he has a worse setup for the left turn, and that means Skundir passed him. Does New Prime make the jump? He face plants! And that is why New Prime had to risk earlier for that extra heart. Because if he hadn't, he would have been out by now. But he gets 1 more chance at winning the match. Still not fully out. And the others are gonna make it. Just about to say, we don't want to call the round too early. And yeah, 58 are the times here that you have to drive. We're on record a 57.8 by Mutta, but 58 seconds is a phenomenal time in rounds. They do a lot of tricks that are not safe for this type of format in practice, but here we go. Skundir and New Prime down to 1 heart. Tween still full HP. So he has the worst start now though. The widest line there. Past the underwater turn. Sets up well for the drift, but it's not that much speed. He will not be able to come back from the drift itself. Has to find it in the water part. That's a good surfing part. Catches up to Skundir. And here, approaches it quite straight. Maybe a bit less speed than the others for the left turn. Do they make the jump here? Skundir and New Prime both make it, and they're both on 1 heart, and they're too far behind Mutta and Tween to catch up. It's a 1v1 for survival. Side by side, equal through the last checkpoint. Skundir with a better setup, more speed to the booster. New Prime has to get a better bounce on the pillow. He risks all the way on the edge. New Prime almost snipes it, but it's Skundir. Skundir by 200ths stays alive in the tournament. I'm saying it wrong. Wait, was that a visual bug? It's the other way around. It's the other way around. New Prime is the safe one. I thought he was ahead on the finish bounce. I thought he was ahead, but it mixed up the positions. Yeah, New Prime is in. Okay, New Prime is in. Cinema, he's been on 1 heart for so long. He regained 1 heart and he's back to 1. And if he can survive 1 more round, he might have a chance at the golden heart in the last round of this map. Gets a good wall hit now. Tween still on 3. And New Prime with a really good start. So much speed there. Doesn't go that high though. Mutta comes back a bit. And Tween in last for now. But he does this part really well. Oh, this is a bit wide. Uh-oh. This is a little wide and a little slow. The others are pushing hard. And they're gaining about 0.3 here before the sand. Going around the beach. Tween going close to the wall now. Has nothing to lose by trying here. He loses a heart if he's last. Would be his first. Can he risk the pillow bounce? Going boing on the finish, but it's not. It's not enough. He will lose his first heart. And New Prime drives fast. This match could equalize, guys. If New Prime wins the next round, we have basically an equal match. But if he risks and crashes, he's also immediately out. But it's been a valiant effort thus far. If New Prime makes a mistake now, we have a 1 versus 1. Tween versus Mutta. Wide setup in the start for Tween. Face plant. This is the risk you run with that strategy. If you go too much towards that block, it can sort of make the car stuck. He luckily was able to quickly recover, but at this point, he has to now risk. It's 0.2 only. Very quick reaction time from Tween. Nothing to lose by trying, but he doesn't have the full speed on the left that the others did. He's closer than he was though. He's much closer. It's a 1/10 of a second or so. Mutta looking for the bonus heart for the 1-up on the finish. New Prime pushing as well. Can Tween catch up? He's getting close. Low line. It's only about a car length before the bounce. We saw New Prime regain that earlier. Here we go. Who's gonna get it? Oh, Tween bounced to the side and Mutta wins the round. Mutta on 3 hearts, New Prime and Tween on 1. He risks the bounce and goes out to the side. And Mutta on full HP with the others. Just 1 heart left. Could be a 1v1 after this round. Could be. All the players losing a heart with Mutta on 2 and the others on 1. We will see. Here we go. No big differences on the first drop, but we could see it already after the first 2 drifts here. You have to hit the left timing and the let go timing of the brake. We see New Prime with the best jump so far. 0.5 checkpoint, very quick. Tween in the back of the field. Less speed than the other 2 before the uphill. Needs to recover now and push this turn. Goes about equal here and will be about a 1/10 behind. Down the hill. Does Mutta hit the grass line with full grip? He does. Tween can do the drift line. Now he goes for it. Same as New Prime. Both of them catching up to Mutta. Both of them almost closing the gap entirely. Mutta though will have speed now. Pushing for 5th gear. They're coming up to the last turn. It's about equal. Tween jumps on the inside line. Mutta is last, but he has more speed. He will pass. Tween is going to be out in 3rd. And it's Mutta versus New Prime. Mutta regaining it all with that wide line. Crazy to hit that approach. So much speed towards the finish. And now what could be the last round. Mutta with 3 chances. New Prime with 1. New Prime has to hold and win 3 in a row here to take the finals. It will end on this map. It has to end on this map. Mutta with 3 match points. New Prime has a long path to victory, but he was close in that first round. The pace was good. And he has shown he does handle pressure quite well. Mutta under a lot of pressure right now. 160 heart rate, as people earlier pointed out. And in this round, New Prime with a fantastic start again. 0.10 ahead. Going up the hill. Does he hold the lead with the speed out of this exit? He actually extends further ahead. It's 0.2. Now curious to see. Mutta can hit this downhill better. But New Prime's drift line will extend the lead once again. Up the hill. Can Mutta close it out? He goes for the 5th gear wide setup line in the last drift. He's getting closer. Wide drift and pushing for speed. He doesn't hold the gear and New Prime takes 1. Not going down without a fight. Mutta still with 2 match points left. Cinema. The cinema is currently live, guys. Hope you don't miss it. Heard Twitch just had an ad break. I'm sorry about the interference. Hope you get to see this round. It is amazing what we are getting to see. Top level Trackmania here. And players put under a lot of pressure. Once again, New Prime with the better start. About a 10th. We're starting to see a pattern. This landing was worse though, and now Mutta can recover. Closing the gap. It's only going to be about 500ths. And Mutta needs to hit the uphill drift better. This is the drift that lost him the previous round, and now he's going to close the gap to about 0. And we should see the same differences. Mutta will gain time here in the downhill with this grass line, but now New Prime drifting into this corner should recover. And then we'll see the ending. Mutta with the best lead that he's had on this map, going for the win. Could close it out now if he hits this drift approach with the wide line, the gear. It looks good enough, and New Prime is too far, and Mutta wins the match 1 of stage 2 and will be in the in-person finals in Milton Keynes, battling with the others in the top 8 for $50,000. New Prime so close, yet so far has 1 more chance in the final chance later on today. But what a match to start the day. Crazy stuff from Mutta. We are starting match 2 of stage 2. We have 25 more hopeful players battling to get a spot in the final 8 that will make it to Milton Keynes, play an in-person final in front of a crowd, and for the prize pool of $50,000. This is Red Bull Faster, organized by Red Bull. Amazing that they take interest in Trackmania and put this on, and that we get to see the best players really push everything they can for one of the biggest prize pools in this game's history. In this field right now, we have Scrappy, the most winning Cup of the Day player. We have Pack, the highest win rate Cup of the Day player, and also a world champion runner-up several times, as well as winning the World Cup in 2016, although starting to be quite a while back now that Pack won the World Cup, but has always been in the top of the game. Otak as well won the World Cup 2 years ago in this field. Soldier won Trackmania Grand League together with Mutta, that we just saw in the previous match 2 or so years ago. So this is a really stacked field, and I can't wait to see who will prevail. We will go through the format one more time. People are joining in if you haven't seen. All the players have 3 hearts next to their name on the scoreboard, and the goal is to not end up last in any of these rounds. The 5 slowest players in the first round, as we're starting now, will lose a heart. If you lose all 3 of your hearts, you are out of the tournament. But if you place top 16, you get 1 more chance in the final chance match later today. And so you have to at least make top 16. Now we are underway. There are 5 players in this field that didn't show. So we have the top 20, which means top 16 is a little bit more manageable, but gotta be precise. Fortunately, already saw a mistake in the start there. It was Andy Baguette hitting the wall. And on a map like this, a 1-second mistake could already mean you are going to lose a heart. There's also one more condition to talk about, which will happen in the last round on each map. There are 4 rounds on the map. In the last round, the winner of the round can regain 1 heart if they have lost one. And so that is something to pay attention to as well. But already quite a lot of mistakes. Captain Salmon here in the red gets a no slide, so he gets overtaken. And Zin is the last player in the clear. Will anyone make a mistake in this last drift? It's quite hard to get the right line, but it looks like they will remain in their spots. Big gap there down to Neko, 1.7 seconds, and Neko, Kamiko, Salmon, Andy, and Mitrig all lose a heart here to start. Pack and Scrappy top 3, no one's surprised, yeah. They do have the pace, and what's so interesting with this format, right, is you are sort of pushing and pulling at the players. You're saying, you cannot risk too much, because if you crash, well, you're gonna end up in the red. But you also can't drive too slow, because if you drive too slow, then you're not gonna battle for the golden hearts and regain health. You're not gonna be able to keep up with the fastest players in the later rounds where there are no mistakes. So you have to consider both angles, and right now we're seeing Scrappy and Pack hit this comfortable fast pace, but what's really insane later on is when they can sort of turn the knob all the way up to like their max without crashing. That is the biggest fascination for me. When I try to do that, I crash 90% of the time. But they are able to drive precisely, drive faster and faster without crashing. And 2 mistakes here in the end. Wow. Walligan was in the red, but saw 2 crashes in the end and overtook both to stay in the blue. And we have some players that have already lost 2 hearts. Holo, Nako, Salmon, Andy, and Mitrug. Tough luck here to start out. We could have a massive KO now if they can't recover. Making 1 mistake is tilting. Making 2 in a row is very unfortunate and tilting. And Nako has DNF'd, perhaps realizing he will not make it through, perhaps on accident, but it happens. So we're on board with Andy now. The Norwegian hope in this match. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little biased, but we'll see this round from his point of view as he's trying to climb out of the red. In front of him, he is 0.3 behind Mitrug. That is the player he needs to catch up to get into the safe spots. And Mitrug goes wide. Sin goes wide. That's almost 2 positions gained. And he would need 1 more to make it to safety. But it is quite far. It is only 1 drift to go. He needs to see some mistakes here. Sets up wide, keeps the gear. Someone crashed. That's 1. Is it enough if he passes Sinks? It is. It is. He passes Sin, and it is enough to stay alive for 1 more round. Oh my, okay. Cinema on the finish line. Mitrug and Nako unfortunately out. Interesting there that the wide line, it's not just that you get more speed, by the way. The idea behind it is to stay in the 4th gear. After you've learned Trackmania at a level where you stop like crashing and can get past the turns quite consistently, gears are the next thing to pay attention to. And if you look in the last turn at the bottom right, you'll see this green number 4. If they hold on to the 4th gear, they will have a lot more speed for that last jump compared to 3rd gear. You accelerate faster the higher the gear you have, so that is a small detail. And it's very hard because the shifting happens automatically and you have to preserve enough speed to not drop the gear. Now in the red, as we go into the ending here, we see Sin just on the tail of the field. Hopefully able to catch up to someone. Otak with this massive jump on the right side. And here's Sin kept the 4th gear and now zoom. He's gonna pass like 2 cars and he stays in the clear. Also Captain Salmon, oh my god. 0.002 of a second from being out. 0.002 there. In the blue spots, able to hold on. Now the match starts here on this map, Splash. It's your first time seeing it. This map is based on the water sports Red Bull are involved in. You'll see a lot of references to things, and we have some Star Trek there from players going a little bit different, get a bit more speed. Interesting approach. All of them making it out of the underwater part. Tona going close to the sign, able to make it past without crashing. But this next water left turn is where we've seen the most mistakes. Here, the players do a water bug slide and then quite an awkward turn to set up for this ferry jump. And if you don't have enough speed, you might crash. You might have to go under the ferry. It's quite slow. And I think we saw like 5 mistakes there already, so curious who's going to be able to keep their hearts. Piasek in trouble as he is in the red with 1 heart left. There is also the final pillow bounce where maybe, just maybe, someone might miss the finish, giving Piasek a chance, but no, it looks like they all got it. And Piasek will be out, will be eliminated. And Walligan also with Kumiko and Holo down to 1 heart. And interesting now, guys, we are with 17 players left. There will be one player eliminated who doesn't make it to final chance, but the top 16 do. So this is an important round. Like, if everything's gone wrong to start out this tournament for you, right? You've lost, you're down to 1 HP. If you just make sure to not lose first now, you will be able to hold on. Someone with a big mistake in the start. I think Jean-René. Failing the water there into the checkpoint. And the thing about that is you cannot really steer. If you steer, it will give you a black screen. So you have to press forward. But there are still some small inputs players try to do at the end of the dive to get like a little bit more time. That might have been what happened. Rossi is drowning on the right side. Going underwater. Someone was face planting the pillar, not sure. Chaos on the ferry as well. Walligan making a mistake. He's down to 1 heart. I know that for sure. Is he going to be able to hold on? Captain Salmon down to 1 heart, chasing Walligan right now. Trying to make it back into the clear. Oh, it's close. Salmon versus Walligan and Jean-René. They might both be out. In that case, the player that is last is going to be 17th. And that is neither of them. As players have failed the ending, it's Kumiko. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Okay, they both make it. Neither of them. So now these players are all in the top 16. If they get eliminated now, they get another chance later today. And we will be seeing them again later. So at that point, you can breathe a bit easier, you know? It's hard to win the match with 1 heart left at this stage, but we saw New Prime get close. It could be done. Also curious to take a look at who has been the most consistent, who has avoided losing hearts. So far we know Otak, Soldier, Scrappy, and Pack all without any damage taken. See if that continues. Mika right now in a little bit of trouble, but gets a good water slide. Oh, Andy is in a lot of trouble though, on the side of the ferry with low speed. Ah! Face plant from Holo. Holo into the polo. Not what he wants, and that is likely an elimination. It's gonna happen. Sorry about that, guys. No, I'm hilarious. Sin, the last red spot here. Everyone else makes it to the finish. and yeah. Holo Marco Polo out in 14th. Together with Andy. 15th and 16th, rather. Alright, let's get serious. This is the last round of the map Splash. If you've lost a heart, which about half the field has, you can now regain a life by getting first place. If you're willing to risk to drive insane pace, you might be able to get back to 2 hearts or to 3 hearts. You cannot gain more though. So if you're on max HP already, you can't get 4 hearts. We're on board with Rossi, who I believe is one of the fastest players that have taken damage. Can maybe also say the same for Walligan and Salmon. Salmon pushing right now. He's up near the front. Into the slide. Gets that good. Nice setup. Only Pack and Otak ahead by about 0.2. Still quite a distance to close for him, and Mika, Vinch, and Sin all with 1 heart left, all down in the red there. Could be a massive knockout right now. Just curious to see if Salmon can make it work here. Pack on monster pace up front. It's likely not going to be able to pass him. But a 2nd place for Salmon, so close. Rossi, Vinch, Sin, and Mika all are out here. It's a quadruple knockout. And we will be down to just 10 players left after this map. Disaster for all these players here. -4. We get to see the last map in the stage 2 map pack, Aerobatic. Who is Tona Virtual? Tona is a Nadeo employee. Used to be for many years. He's the person that picked the Cup of the Day tracks for the past 4 years. Now I believe he works for a different game studio, but has always been one of the best United players and is also good on the stadium car in Trackmania 2020. So he is back to competing for fun. And already got, you know, into the money here, into the cash prizes of $100 for top 100. And we could see him go even further. He's really good, so very fun to see. After the start here, though, on the speed slide part, we have Soldier, one of my favorites, in the red. Only 3 players take damage now. Into the hangar. Hangar number 5. Look for the gear in the bottom right. Do we see third gear? We do. Soldier holds on to it. Speeds past Tona now. And down into the garage. Walligan with a DNF is going to be out. 07. Captain Salmon with a mistake. 07. Oh, it's hangar 7. Not hangar 5. I again mixed it up. Hangar 7. 07 for Walligan as he fails in hangar 7. Same for Salmon. That is how I'll try to remember it. 05. Winning time here also, let's take note, a 54.5 by Otak. The world record 54.2, so 0.5, a very fast time. Can I get a 07 in chat as we are about to see another race on Hangar 7's own Trackmania circuit. One mistake in the start already. Someone went off the left side. What's that, Tona? Tona off the side, almost guaranteed to lose a heart from that. That is unfortunately a 3-second mistake on a map where we don't see that big crashes. Scrappy also not getting the best of the speed slides, but he has a good ending. Passes Otak. Really just elegantly flows past him with that exit speed off the runway. Now into the go-kart part. Keeps the third gear. Pack has lost it and will therefore lose some time. Scrappy almost up to first place by now. Where's Coco? Passing the motivator. And Otak over the grass. Oh, Otak's gonna lose a heart for sure here. Crosses the penalty grass, and that costs like 50 speed on the final straight. Going too wide there, out of the tunnel, can really cost you. So Otak and Tona, 2 of the favorites. -1. Scrappy out-teching everyone, yeah. Swear he shines. The full speed he has put a lot of practice into as well. And I think his personal best is top 3 here. 54.2 for sure. It all starts with that bounce sequence. Go a bit left, go to the right, air brake to get the dive with the front tire. And you ideally want like 10 more speed than this though, so didn't fully get the slide he was looking for, but it's still good enough. Tona again! Uh-oh, Tona again with a big mistake in the start. 4 seconds. Did not get through the flying part. That is really unfortunate for him. Oh, big face plant. I don't know who that was. We will see it on the splits in a second. Looks like it was Coco. So for the others, it's a matter of safing. Even the motivator, he failed his drift. Doesn't matter. The gaps are big. You can take it chill. And just make sure that you don't fall off the last glass blocks. And yes, all the other players are going to survive here. Tona down to 1 heart now. Coco on 2. What happens after stage 2? After stage 2, we have a 2-week break where the players get to practice 2 new maps that are revealed. The top 8 players from stage 2 go to stage 3 into the finals. And then there we see them battle for the $50,000 prize pool in person in Milton Keynes. And that is going to be very exciting. I'm going to be there in person to cast. We haven't yet announced who my co-caster is or the show host and stuff like that, but not sure when I can say it either, but it's very hype. It's very hype. So I'm excited. Tona is on track. He did not fail the start here. That's what we like to see. Scrappy is in red after the full speed, but Tech is one of his best styles. He's gonna push. Oh, narrow line there. Not going wide like the others. Daring to go. Doesn't keep the gear here, so will get passed by quite a lot of players, but still in the middle or so. The motivator quite far behind the others. Trying to risk now, but it's quite far, and yeah, will not be able to come back and pass. Jean René loses a heart. Tona, however, though, is gonna be out. Tona is out. And Pack there with the fastest time. Otak tried to risk for the golden round, but did not get the heart recovery. We are going back where we started on circuit, but now with considerably less players remaining. We have cut the field in half. But yeah, let's see. When we saw this map the first time, they all had full HP. Now we see Coco on 2, Jean on 1, Otak on 2, the motivator on 2. Pack, Scrappy, and Soldier all with full HP. And I really am curious to see Otak. He's the only player I've seen, like, delve too far from what we've seen previously with lines. So we're staying on board with him. He is in the red right now. Definitely need a good line in this ending. This pace is insane though. No one's making mistakes up there. They're all in like 54 mid pace. What does Otak choose to do? He goes low, keeps 5th, sets up for drift, risks, oh, makes it through. Is likely going to be safe. Who's going to be taking damage? It's Jean-René and the Motivator. But look at the pace, guys. 54.3. And Jean-René is out of the tournament. What? With 54.3, that's insane. Crazy pace there. And unlucky for Jean-René, who just happened to be a little bit slower in an insane round. Says GG and 07 in chat. Well played, Jean-René. I'm excited to see you later on in the final chance. Now, with only 6 players remaining, it's 2 players taking damage. So we have 4 players left, guys. And Soulja with a weak start. There's a big gap right now from Soulja up until safety. Him and the Motivator have lost a lot of ground here. And if the players up front keep driving like they did, it's hard to say where they're going to be able to recover. Coco, Scrappy, Pack, and Otak are all so good on tech that they're not really making mistakes. This has been their main style, their bread and butter for so many years in Trackmania. Are they all getting last drift? Pack has to let off. Pack has to roll. Ay, 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 Pack has to release. He somehow dared to hold that full speed, and he went very close to the tires. If you clip there, you lose a heart. The Motivator out, unfortunately, and Soulja is down to 2. But this is where it gets tense. This is where the Scrappies and the Packs and the Otaks and the Cocos and the Souljas only have other stellar world-class players in the field that they have to beat to preserve their health. Now, I expect to see very low 54 pace here. Just been the trend in this match. Low drift from Coco, so close to the inner barrier. Gets good exit speed here too. And holds on to 2nd place. Pack up front. Scrappy down in last for now. Only 0.1 behind, but more speed than Soulja and more speed than Otak. Side by side with them through the narrow chicane part. Up onto the tilted drift now. He is fighting for 1st, but has a bit less speed. And will be all the way down to 5th now before the last drift. Who is going to take it? Soulja and Scrappy both with the upper speed line. Coming close to Otak. Oh, Scrappy gets him. Scrappy gets him by 5 thousandths, and Otak loses a 2nd heart. Soulja down to 1 HP as well. Oi, 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 oi. The wide line, the 4th gear speed pays off, but only barely. Pack and Scrappy still on maximum health, but they had to drive 54.2 to stay safe, guys. World record. When 2 weeks of practice has been played, the world record is a 53.7. 54.2 is mentally fast in match, and to do that every round. Nobody wants to lose, but someone has to, and Soulja and Otak are dangerously close now to elimination. Only 1 heart left, but they could recover 1, of course. This is the golden round. You can regain a heart if you win this round. Same goes for Coco. Out wide there, lots of speed for Coco. Great setup as well for the chicane. Should be able to contest for this 1st place, whereas Otak is in grave danger right now. Down in last. Does he go for the jump? No, goes wide and sets up the drift. Loses the gear. It's still fine for now, but now comes the speed from Scrappy. He's gonna pass someone. It's so close. But Otak is eliminated by 2 thousandths because Coco beats him and Scrappy beats him. 54.09, the time to survive, and Pack drops a 53. Pack drops a 53. Styles in the competition. And we are down to just 3 players. Double KO. Soulja 54.2 also out. Insane rounds on circuit. Just insane pace. I think right now the player under the most pressure is going to be Coco. He knows the other 2 players are the favorites. It's sort of like you're going up against the Magnus and the Hikaru of Trackmania. You're going up against the Michael Jordan and LeBron James of Trackmania. You're going up against the GOATs, and you are a good player. You are an NBA player. You are a Grandmaster. But can you beat them? That is what we'll have to see. He has less HP going in as well, so it would take a really strong effort from Coco now to stay in this match. Loses about a 10th out of the start. Good drift here though to keep up with Pack and Scrappy. Through the surf. It's about equal still. Hasn't lost more than that 1/10 out of the underwater part. And now the water bug slide. Pack with the inside line. Will have less speed for this left. Actually holds on. Crazy line from Pack. And he is 2/10 ahead of both Coco and Scrappy. Scrappy in danger now. And Coco with a stellar line around the beach. Around that circle, but has been caught up to by Scrappy. I think it's so close. Scrappy with a car length lead before the last bounce. Is Coco going to risk this? He kind of has to. A little bit on the side. Could miss the finish. And he will miss the finish, but fantastic times from both Pack and Scrappy. 0.4 and 0.5 is the necessary threshold to drive at. And that beats a lot of players' personal bests. I think there's only around 20 players that have personal bests that strong, so. World record on this one all the way down at 57.8, by the way. So this is a map with a lot of just tiny tricks that you can go for if you have nothing to lose in time attack. Not so easy in live round. Scrappy gets an amazing start here. 0.63 checkpoint, 0.1 ahead of both of the others. Incredible pace. We know Coco now is in danger of being eliminated, sending it to a 1v1 with 3 hearts each if that were to happen. Still gonna fight for it, going for a risky line now. Through the water, faceplant! Now I need to see a mistake on this jump, or it's likely it will be that 1v1 we discussed. And it is as predicted, guys, I think. Let's not call it too soon. The bounce remains, but it is all but likely we go into a 1 versus 1. Scrappy versus Pack. The predicted favorites. And we'll see which player gets the best of the other. This is exciting. There's also going to be one round at least with a golden heart that could really sway the match, right? The golden round in a 1v1 is crucial. If you're both on 2 health and you win the golden round, you go up to 3 and your opponent goes down to 1. So this round is important, but the next round already could be like decisive almost. Every last round of every map, the winner of the round will regain 1 heart. Here we go. Start is better for Scrappy. He had a 0.63 checkpoint last time. Now he delivers a 0.58. You can only get those starts by doing the crash on purpose to angle the car more sideways, and he gets it perfectly. 0.85 checkpoint here. Already 2/10 out of Pack. Pack did the water part perfectly though in a previous round, and he is going to go for that setup now. Going inside line here and still preserving a lot of speed for the left turn, but Scrappy pushes ahead. Gets a nice nosedive as well. He's extending the lead, and this is a very fast time from Scrappy. 0.3 ahead of Pack in this first round. Pack trying, but losing a little bit more time across the beach. And this one should go to Scrappy, all things considered. Just needs to hit the bounce. Not too far forward on it, and that looks good. 0.236 by Scrappy. That is the fastest time we've seen in the tournament so far, and like a top 10 world time. That's insane. So pay attention to the start now. This is the golden round. I guess it could only really benefit Pack in an unusual way, where Pack regains and Scrappy loses, but you need the wall touch. Scrappy gets it a little bit worse this time. It's a lot closer now. 0.7 for both. 0.7 for both out of the start. Pack risks the drift more. More speed and a better bounce will gain him a lot of time into the surf. Scrappy earlier onto the booster though. Gets a little closer. 0.05 of a difference. Wider setup for Pack. Can approach earlier to the right now and earlier to the left there. And holds on to about a 10th. But Scrappy is so close. This is not over yet. This is within distance. Ooh, has to let off the approach around the circle, and Pack should be able to close this out with a 2/10 lead. Still the bounce to go, but it's looking like Pack takes this one, and it will swing. Ah! Oh, Oh my god, okay. Bounced very low. He did not slow down enough for the pillow thing, so he bounced very low. It does sway the match though. He goes up to 3, Scrappy goes down to 2. So he's done a reversal. And now we skip map onto aerobatic. Here we go. This is the 1v1, and this is the last map that's gonna decide who gets the second spot at Milton Keynes by winning the Group 2 match. First is the meme bounce. You need to get the front tire down and speed slide. Pack with a good entry into the turnover. Scrappy still has enough speed to go just about equal and actually extending ahead with that speed slide. Scrappy about a 10th ahead as we go to the runway. Now the setups. Pack a bit wider, opts for more speed up the hill, but goes too wide, has to let off. Doesn't, dares to hold that line full speed despite being pixels from the wall. And it is still a 10th of a gap. Able to weave through the slalom, and now the upper gear. Does he hold it? Third gear through the slide. Yes, sir. Crazy setup for the Neo slide. Able to maneuver it, but it's very finicky. It's not ideal. Drift to get a better speed slide setup in the ending, but Scrappy still has this lead. It's only 600. It's been that lead the entire round, and it remains across the finish line. 0.6 for Scrappy, 0.7 for Pack. Pack's entire run there was just awkward turn after awkward turn. And yet he recovered perfectly. He was not on the like ideal comfortable trajectory ever, but still made the most of it. And somehow made it like very close. Next round up. You should hopefully be able to see a difference if Pack gets the lines he's aiming for now. First the meme bounce. Scrappy by far a better bounce there. And that trick is actually called the meme bounce. That's full speed player terminology. And now Scrappy has a better lead than the first round. 0.17 onto the runway, onto the landing strip. Around the drift, good speed as well. Can full speed to the left now. Where is Pack? About the same difference behind, 0.18. Ooh, he's gaining back here. He got the slalom better. Better setup as well. And it's only down to a 10th now. Better Neo slide as well, I'd say, but he's close to the structural parallel on the left. Into the tunnel. A car length of a lead for Scrappy. S4D maybe. Not gonna go for it. And it looks like it goes Scrappy's way once more. Again by just those 600ths. Twice in a row now. And Scrappy is on match point. Very insane 1v1 here. Both players driving clean. Not making mistakes. And pushing to their limit. Question is if under all the pressure now, if we will see any mistakes. To the side, Pack has to win. Scrappy has to not make any mistakes. 478 speed, great start by both. And this is Pack's best start yet. He's lost most of the time to Scrappy before the runway, but now he's equal or even slightly behind before it. But this is the best outcome he's had on the start. Oh, the drift setup is awkward. Has to adapt multiple times, but he will be able to catch up to Scrappy with the additional speed. Now the slalom, he touches, Scrappy touches! Pack gets away with a small mistake. Can he recover his nerves? He hits the Neo slide. Does not falter to his own nerves there. It's easy to think when you crash that it's over, but Scrappy crashed harder. And we will go down to 1 life each. Oh my. The match can't extend further. 1 heart each, 1 last round to decide it. Will it be Scrappy or will it be Pack? These matches have delivered. These finals have delivered. Let's hope for a great round now. And remember, the start could already decide a lot. The start could already decide a lot. We are going into it. The drop from the stratosphere into the speed slides. Pack gets a great start, 480 speed. Scrappy already trailing by a 10th because Pack's speed slide was that good on the front tire. Pack's main issue has been the starts, but now he's leading by a lot, 0.15. This is going to add some pressure though. Scrappy on the inside drift, but Pack will have more speed up the hill, and the lead remains. The slalom, the tightest part of the map. timing this right turn into the left, into the right, and setting up for a neo slide around the pillar. Pack did drop the gear. Scrappy is going to be equal. It's a 100th of a difference into the tunnel. Scrappy setting up wider, trying to get the S4D now to the left. He's going to break tap to get the S4D. More speed into the final part. Is it going to be Pack or Scrappy? Pack has the lead and it remains. Pack knocks out Scrappy and takes the ticket to the finals himself. Top 8 secured by 400ths of a second. Insane final. So well fought by Scrappy. Going for what is the theoretical best line in the ending there, to drift more in the tunnel and then break tap to speed slide the ending. But it's not enough. It's actually only 300ths there. Wow. Yeah. 300ths of a second is the actual time. So, here we go. Stacked field featuring Bren, Musa, and also some other players you might have heard of, like Levon, Elcon, Biwak. Currently like 4 or 5 a.m. right now in Australia for Bren and Biwak, so shoutouts to them for playing. And I said we were going to take a look at Switch if they are playing this match. I don't know if they are. I didn't immediately see them on the leaderboard. So it might be that they went for the top 100 and did not try to qualify further in the tournament. I don't see them in the leaderboard, so I don't think Switch is playing, unfortunately. But would have loved to see that. In this first round, we have Musa up in front. On pretty good pace. And no big mistakes here. Oh, a missed Neo Slide for Sinks, though. That's almost down into the red immediately from that one mistake. Currently occupying the last spot in the danger zone is Ike Wolf, and it looks like he will remain there as he cannot catch up to Lufok, who just make sure to clinch spot and safety. So now you'll see Ike Wolf, Nightac, Viper, IMPD, and Zyron all lose a heart each. Did Alcon shortcut? No, but Alcon is one of the best full speed players as well. So though we don't have Switch, we have Alcon, and you should be able to see him do this meme bounce masterfully as well. Setting up, tilting the car, getting the front wheel down, and then 480 speed, and then speed sliding through. And it's hard on full speed because everyone's driving with the acceleration pressed down all the way. But look at this lead Alcon has. Even to someone in the middle of the field, he gets 0.2, which in Trackmania is a lot. And so now he just propels ahead. Biwak also has his roots in playing full speed maps. Someone of the top players there crashed out in the slalom section. Didn't see who it was. Looks like Charles, yeah. The Colombian car. Chamao also in danger. Zinks in the hot seat, fighting with Zyron. Oh, Lufok's made a mistake. Lufok likely to lose a heart here. Zink should be fine. Siren as well, due to Lufok's mistake there, so swings back and forth, but we have Viper and IMPD now already down to 1 heart each. Why aren't Alpine and downhill maps being played? So the way it works is that they're only in these matches playing stage 2 maps, but in the final chance match, the maps from stage 1 could get picked. What's really interesting is that the winners of each match picks the maps for the final chance match. They don't actually play the match themselves because they've already won, but it could allow them to like pick their teammate's best map. Like you can imagine a situation where if Musa or Granati wins their match, they could pick their teammates or friends' favorite map in the final chance. It adds some like spicy elements. And there will be 4 maps played at the very least in the final chance match. So that could be all 3 from stage 2 and 1 from stage 4, but we don't know. It will be 4 maps, so at least 1 stage 1 map. But I would love to see Alpine in rounds, I really would. Let's see here as we see IMPD and Viper both in the red once more. IMPD and Viper are going to be out. 07 in the chat for the Fallen. I think it's still good that they showed up, they played, even if they had a very short-lived tournament run. It's always good to try your best, and they are ready by getting top 100 in the quali, beat 20,000 other players. So, you know, put some respect on their names, chat. All the players you see here in the time attack beat 20,000 other players that tried to qualify. So, you know, we're watching like really the top of the top But it's just very hard to drive these maps as well, consistently in rounds. Whereas Twist might not be playing the match itself. But now, with 17 players left, it is dicey because top 16 gives you a spot in the final chance match. Marmalade with a faceplant, also one mistake. I don't know who it was. Lufok right now in 15th, needs to pass 2 to stay alive in order not to be the unlucky 17th eliminee. And it looks too far. It looks too far. I think Lufok here realizes it and goes for a final hurrah, jumping into the sky and hitting DNF. Lufok will be eliminated in 17th. We are on the third and last map here, Circuit. No, wait, we haven't seen Splash either. We're on the second map. Yeah, we're just on the second map already. What's the pace gonna be like? 13 players left. I think 54 seconds is forced. You need 54 seconds. 55 would be too slow. Could be wrong. And maybe even into the mid 54s. At this stage of the match, we might not see low 54 yet, but it's gonna be interesting. Miquatro up in the lead as I did think this is one of his strongest maps. Has just spent so much time drifting on tech maps in Trackmania that you get a really good feel for it after a while. Not just a feel for when the car's gonna make the drift, but what lines are optimal. And players do opt for different things. Here, Bren opts for the inside line. Miquatro wants the speed to hold all the way to this part. And you can see it almost equalizes, but Bren does win the first round. Zyron in some trouble here, and he looks to be out. Massa takes the first damage as well. Only a 10th behind Zinx. Didn't see that, but yeah, a mistake from Massa. And a time of 55.4, so barely over the 55 mark. A little bit surprising as this is a good map for Massa as well. All it takes here is one wall touch and you are in that threshold. This is also a map I think Massa has a good chance at getting the golden heart on in round 4. So he might be able to recover. But definitely not the start he wanted to the match. Here he's back into the top positions like he was previous round as well. I did not see where it went wrong for Massa. But had to have been around here. That's a good drift though. Equal to Bren now, up near the front. We see Jock out there, down into the red. One of the players with 3 hearts, and Shamo. And Alex as well, fighting for survival. Might take a look at Alex, since he is a good tech player. Could maneuver past some players in the last 2 turns. Oh, goes a bit wide here. Not the best line. Eats the gear. This is going to be a very hard last turn to fight through, and Alex will be out, unfortunately. Very unfortunate timing. Did get the gear up at the worst of times. And yeah, now Massa is back to first here, like we did expect on this map. So he has recovered, but Alex out. And we're not seeing the immediate knockouts of match 2. We're seeing more a slow build here. A lot of players just taking 1 heart here and 2 hearts there. Let's check out Alcon now. See how he's looking on tech. Out of the map styles, I'd say this is the one he is the most beatable on. Splash, I believe, is like a very strong map for Alcon, and so is Aerobatic, so this is the map that is the least style to his strengths in stage 2. See me Quattro in 8th, almost in the red here out of the start. Still Alcon up near the front. Says a lot about the player. Ooh, Levon having to release. Good adaptation. No crashes yet. Some adaptations, some mistakes, but no crashes from the top 10. It looks like Shamo has made a mistake. Will anyone crash the end? They will not. And Shamo and Charles are both out now in 14th and 13th. Also, Alcon winning with a 54 flat. Yeah. Alright, Alcon. Alright. Sorry for my comments. Sorry for my comments. This might be one of his strongest maps. The world record only 0.26 faster. 0.26. It's like a 5.3 something. A 53.73 something. 7.39 I think. By pack. So getting very close to the fastest pace in the world in a live round, which is very impressive. Marmelade as well. It's pretty good on tech. And this feels like a map he should be able to stay alive on, despite having lost a heart earlier. And on the water map, I think is where we'll really see Marmelade shine. So he has to make it to it. This is the last round, and one where the winner will regain a heart. Eichwolf pushing for it right now. So is Mussa, like we talked about, but Bren is the man to beat if you want that heart. Rewarded for first place. Mussa challenging for it right now. Good drift. Little bit wide. Ah, crashes. Is he gonna lose another? Chasing the heart up front. He will, I think. Ooh, disastrous for Mussa. Push a little extra for regaining his health and loses another. But that is where the strategy comes through. What you decide to opt for. Now, Splash. Map is cool. Yeah, it's stunning, right? All the maps by Waypoint Mapping. Amazing effort by them. Here we go. It's heating up, guys. Only 5 players left with all their hearts intact. And one of the favorites, Mussa, down to just 1 heart now. Have to pay attention to him. He gets that touch nicely. 0.6 track point and 2 tenths gained on the players that do not go for that wall hit. Nice to see. Now into the surf. Also a great line there. And he's going to be in first. Whereas Rusk here and Jaka in a lot of danger before the water bug slide set up. Everyone gets it. Nice wide lines from... I was gonna say Jaka, but he hits the wall afterwards, and that's gonna be him out probably. There's not that many other parts to recover after such a crash. Also looking bleak for... Oh my god. Sorry. One moment. Gonna say looking bleak for the players, but Caster is suffocating. Oh my lord. Real voice, holy shit, guys. It's back. It's back, it's back, and we're back in the action. Caster almost getting knocked out along with the players. We saw Rask, Levon, and Jaka eliminated. Now a lot tougher for Mussa. He's one of the only players down there together with Marmelade that hasn't lost a heart. But he's again driving fast though. And I did not get to see the winning time from last round. So we'll have to take a look now. 0.4 was the warm-up pace. The bug slide is good for Marm. Also a smooth slalom, smooth sailing. And he's almost up near front, but this is interesting. 2 big crashes. Biowak and Eichwolf. Too far gone. Irrecoverable. And they will also lose a heart here. Not much to be done. This is more a test of the winning pace and the consistency of the others here. Because these things releasing so much to make sure he gets the finish, right? Miquatro did not finish! Oh lord. Oh lord, Miquatro. Unlucky. Jumps too far onto the pillow and therefore bounces low. And does not make it into the finish ring. Unfortunate for Miquatro. Also loses a heart now. That makes 4 players left with full HP. The wall hit in the start. Mussa again going for it, but this time nobody got it that good. It's the closest field out of the start yet. Everyone is here within a 10th. Drift. Whew. Biowak going very close to the sign. Onto the booster now. Typically see the players that get the wide setup here do the best through the slalom. Quattro with an inside line is holding on, but Biowak now. Whew. Full speed through, passing 2 players. In the back of the field, Eichel has crashed. Sinks has a chance here, a very good chance at recovering. Getting closer to Marm, but it's a little far still. Needs a good bounce. Gonna risk it. Left, right to tilt the nose of the car down. Bounce earlier. And get into the ring. Doesn't pass anyone though. 0.3 winning time by Bren as well. Fantastic time. And now the golden round, guys. Now the golden round. Eichhoff is out in 8th. And we have the potential for getting 1 heart back. Massa, out of all these players, is going to be by far the most likely to risk all in for this. Bren and Elcon don't need to risk. Biwak doesn't need to risk. But Massa here, I mean, you almost have to get this to have a fighting chance. So all eyes on Massa. First place or perhaps bust. Gets the wall hit. It's a 0.7 though. It's not that fast. We've seen 0.6 earlier on, but it's manageable. It's workable. Good drift as well. The water bounce is there, and he is moving up into first. But the most technical part of the map remains. The water bug slide, the water drift, whatever you want to call it, goes so inside line here. Releases and tries to get the line regardless. Alcon has passed him by 0.1. Now Massa needs to risk on the beach. Get very close to the Red Bull can there on the left. And to the Red Bull banner on the right. Alcon still remains in first. Looks like Sinks and Biwak in last. And if Alcon doesn't fail this end, he should deny everyone the chance at this golden heart. And he will, with a 0.4 winning time. Sinks and Biwak losing a heart at the bottom of the scoreboard there. Sinks now down to 1. Round 1, 2 players still lose a life, with 7 players remaining. Massa and Sinks with no HP left have to be flawless from here on out. Great start from Massa, wow. What a bounce. Alcon and Biwak though, the 2 full speed players, you can clearly see, have gotten an amazing start. 0.2 ahead of the rest of the field. Everyone else is close to each other. No big mistakes yet. Perhaps only for Sinks, who is in a lot of danger. There is not that much track left, only about 20 seconds of driving. And he's losing time in each corner here. And the person that's ahead of him is still not enough to pass. He needs to pass 2. Marmorlotti only needs 1 position, but it's also looking way too far here. Clean round from the others. Not going to be able to save themselves here. Marmorlotti down to 1 HP, and Sinks is out. 07. Are all top 8 allowed to use whatever controller they want? Absolutely. We've had this issue at LAN tournaments in Trackmania before, where what you will do is you will have a desk, like a very long table, and have all the monitors next to each other, right? But with steering wheel players, because they steer, they kind of move the desk. And so players have been very distracted sitting next to someone with a steering wheel. So typically, they will have 3 players next to each other, and the steering wheel players are like isolated next to them on the stage. It's funny to see when you see it in tournaments. But back to the round. Marmorlotti in the red once more, and this is looking bleak. This is going to be tough. He can full risk. He is going to catch up to Biwak quite a lot, especially with the drift set up here. But then he needs 1 more. Bren is up there though, and Marm has more speed here. It's 0.2. Very tough to regain. Bren hits the line really well, and those 4 players up front, Massa and Quattro, Bren and Alcon, are going to be unstoppable. Biwak also losing a heart here. And look at the pace, like 54.4? It's only 1/10 behind the world record. World record 0.23. 0.6, 0.7, that's all acceptable. Under 55 is great. Go over 55 here, you kind of risk danger of getting eliminated. But it's incredible that they're able to do that every round. But this match is going as predicted. We are seeing a lot of the favorites remain with only 5 players left. Now, question is, which of the favorites will make it to the 1 versus 1, the top 2? Massa here, not with the best speed slides again. Good line here though. Gonna go full speed. Alcon with a small drift tap. All of them within like 100th right now. This is insane. They all hit the slalom, and that does put a lot of pressure on the player who wasn't last earlier. That was Biwak, who is no closer now. Quattro's made a mistake, and Biwak and Mick are now insanely far behind. This should already seal the round. And we will have to wait and see Who is going to capitalize now? It is the golden round. Massa and Miquatro can both capitalize and regain some health. Biwak is out in 5th. We have to approach a verdict here. Round by round, it's gonna get closer and closer to a conclusion, and we might have 2 knockouts here in the next 2 rounds. Miquatro and Massa both on 1 life. They could change that if they risk now for the heart for first place. Massa has a good start. This is actually his best start out of these rounds. Equal to Elcon, something that is no easy task. And now in the technical part, this is his domain. He is extending ahead. About 500 gains so far, and if he hits the approach here, could be more. Left timing is important, gets that right timing to set up for this left slide. Has so much space to carry the speed now. Massa is looking for it. Inside line, close to the structure, gets the reactor. Has to get as left as he can before the setup out of the tunnel, and it's looking like he can take it. Will Elcon snipe it though? Miquatro's already out, but who's getting the heart? Massa is getting caught up too, but... He crashed! He crashed to finish! He crashed the finish pillar, and Elcon beats him by 300ths. Oh, he had it though. Oh, he had it. Ah, that stings. That stings, that hurts. Oh, Elcon snipes it. That might be a decisive mistake, we'll see. It's crazy what margins it comes down to in the end. And you look back at it and you think, man, if only this round had swung that way, and so on and so forth. This last chance today, yeah, it's after match 4 as well. So 5 matches in a row today, guys. And then we'll also take a look at the new weekly short maps thereafter, but this is unmissable. Peel your eyes at it. We have Massa with no mistakes to be made if he wants to stay in this match. The others both on full health. But we are in Massa's best map style. We are on tech. This is a map style that Massa's been in the World Cup finals on in 2016 and consistently been among the top 8, top 16 players in the other years as well. So really, really good on this map style, and he does have the lead, but it's so close. 700s only to Bren on the previous split. Now it's a bit more, but Bren is coming back with this slide here, although it's a quite big gap to close. Looks like he's done it, but the speed is lower for the last 2 turns. And so it's still in favor of Massa and Elcon. Do they hit the last turn? They do, and oh my god, what pace is this? Bren loses the round with a .15. 0-4 and 0-5 by Massa and Elcon. Insane. Like, what do you even say to that? I want to remind you, the world record is a 53.73 after 2 weeks of time attack. And so, when it matters, under pressure, close to the final players left, you still drive within 0.3 of a second of that. Throughout a minute, it's crazy. Crazy performance by all 3. So you just gotta go again if you're Bren here, after losing a health, but confidence boost for Massa, driving at 0-4 when he needs to. Especially after crashing in the warm-up too, making sure that he's back. I think Elcon just crashed out. I think Elcon, yeah, he slid out. Got airtime on that downhill. And this round is a freebie. And the other's health bars are diminishing. It was 1 health versus 3. Now it's 1 versus 2 for both of those players. Massa's closing the gap. I mean, surely he does not make this all the way down to everyone having 1 health. Surely it would not. The script that I do not have in front of me would not say that it's gonna be 3 players all on 1 heart. Massa driving 54.005. Surely the script is not written that way. For maximum excitement, it can't be. It cannot be. Oh no, it could not be. Alright, let's see. Let's see what fate has in store for us. On board with Bren. For Massa, it is 1 crash and you're out. It has been that way for the past 5 to 10 or so rounds. After falling down early, he risked for the extra life, did not get it. But now he also has to risk for fast pace, and you can see If these wheels ever make contact with the wall, it is over. But he still has to and dares to push so close at every apex. Because he has to. The other players he's driving against are driving at that 54 low pace. Has not made a breakaway at all. He's only barely ahead of Bren. Bren takes this inside line. Musa dives in late to have more speed now. It works out, but can he hit the timing for this blind 270-degree last drift? It's so close. They're all side by side. Bren has less speed though, and Elcon and Musa deliver with times at 53.94 and 53.95. Bren, I can't imagine what he's gonna be feeling here, because his time is fantastic. He drove a 0.3 and lost a heart. He drove a 0.3 and lost a heart. Musa is rapidly closing this gap. It's only Elcon now with 2 hearts left. And will the fairy tale come to an end, or can he keep pushing here? If Musa wins this round and gets the bonus heart, that would be quite a turn of events. There is a bonus heart available to the winner of this round, guys, so here it's not just about getting second or first, but that first place could be oh so valuable, could decide a lot. In terms of who qualifies for the final, Bren hits the wall. Bren hits the wall and he's likely out of contention. And we'll have to try get him the final chance. Who gets the bonus heart though? Is it Elcon or Musa? Wait! Musa crashed harder! Musa crashed harder! Again, he risked for the heart. But Bren was only 1 second down. And that mistake is very costly. Bren has been saved at death's door, but now Elcon will have 3 hearts to 1. This is likely irrecoverable. It's 3 match points versus 1 eventually. We will see. But my god, Bren versus Elcon is the 1v1 here. 1 versus 1. Elcon did make a mistake. Is he gonna stay clean now? Mistake free. The wall touch is good. It's equal. It's dead equal on the checkpoint. Up the hill and towards the wave. Great drift by Elcon. So close to that pillar. Daring to go all the way to the limit of the track. And he has about a 1/10 of a lead now on Bren before the water bug slide. Still maintains that on the second turn. The left-hander is bad for Bren. He respawns. He crashes out. Does Elcon know this? He will not get the info until this checkpoint, and now is going to be aware that Bren has crashed and can cruise in to a secured final ticket here if he gets the bounce. The bounce remains. You have to be vigilant and do it properly. Releases a lot, air brakes at the right time, and Elcon is going to the finals. GG's to Elcon. Taking the match and a chance at the $50,000 prize pool March 1st in Milton Keynes. Bren getting so close, yet so far, but he still has a chance in the final chance match. Later tonight, we have 1 more match, guys, match 4, and then we will take a look at the final chance and which players have made it there. But everyone in the top 16 from this match and the other ones will be playing there. We're going live with the first warm-up in match 4. But here we go. We'll get a good indication of pace, consistency, and where the favorites might be at. First round is underway, guys. Get some hype for the players you're rooting for. Let's see who takes it. It's a long match. Nothing will be decided based on 1 round alone, based on 2 rounds. But we've seen favorites like Carl Jr. and Musa lose hearts early and have a very tough time recovering afterwards. New Prime as well. So these first rounds, while you could expect that the winning pace needed to be in the blue, is more forgiving. It's still not easy. You still need to drive a really good run. Right now the players in the red are just 1 second behind. We see the first mistake, which was, I believe, either Talk. Yeah, it was Talk bouncing out. And he is almost guaranteed to lose a heart here. Monkey is very close, fighting with Popper for the safe spot. We'll see the bounce here. Some players might release too much. Some players might not release enough. Someone's bouncing out to the side, and Monkey will pass too. A Smiley Bob drops down. And has to respawn again. He's definitely in the red. And Yon TM, I think, on paper, the strongest qualifier here that takes damage in the first round. Paying mostly attention to who went out there. We can also take a look at the starts, the course, the pace. Now with Epos, let's see if he does the wall hit on the left. Does go for it, gets a nice flick from that. 0.6 track point. Gains around a tenth, that one, compared to the normal pace. And follows it up with such a good drift into the wave now. Gliding down, and yeah. Man of many talents, as I said. Beatboxer, Rocket League gamer, and also winning tournaments in Trackmania. Spam here, following pretty closely. But again, we see some of the same players, and now it's scary. Smiley Bob and Andy could lose 2 hearts in a row if they're not careful now. They both passed Rule, and so they're both in the clear. But it's still a bit iffy. Yawn and Talk are almost certainly going to lose 2 hearts in a row. Now, what about our other friends here? Smiley Bob and Andy. They jump far, and they both make it, so no more damage taken, but yeah, Yawn and Talk are going to be down to just 1 heart after 2 rounds are played. And the winning pace, Epos with a 0.3. Lewis Smithy, Australian player, also really good khaki player. He beat all 75 khaki maps this season, and I think placed top 5 in average. So this should be his best map in the map pack, a map with a lot of these weird tricks, like hitting the wall for a nice slide and hitting a good bug slide on the water later. Like, this could be a map that really suits him. But predominantly, I've seen him in khaki. Is Yawn the Yawn from TMNF? No, this is a different Yawn. And it's hard to keep track of all the players. Smithy with his first mistake there. Yawn into the face plant. Oh, but he gets a zoop to recover almost, but no. The tires are too wet, and at this point, he will not make the top of the ferry, and is likely to be the first eliminated player in this match. Unfortunately, we see Binks with the leading pace here, together with Uffy. But the battle for keeping health is so close. Konjika has it right now. He passes 2 though. Andy gets a nice bounce, and he passes 2 himself. Talk and Yawn are both out. 0-7. 0-7 to both. How many players advance? It is the top 1. The winner. The winner advances. The top 16 get a chance to play final chance just after this. But it's pretty cutthroat. You have to win the match. Now for the 4th and final round here, we will see if anyone is able to snipe the round win and regain 1 health. But the favorites are driving insane pace. Epos, Grenadi, Uffy, Binks, they're all driving 0.3, 0.4 every round. And they haven't lost a single point of health. So we will see if someone who has is able to beat them. I don't think so, but we will take a look. The fastest players that has lost a heart might just be Poopor or Jadon. Ooh, nice bug slide from Poopor, but it's quite far. Who do we see up there? Wosile on the side. Able to recover. That was a great recovery. And yeah, so far, no player that has lost health is looking to challenge this. The favorites remain the favorites. Uffy, Apple, Smime, Grenadi, top 4. And one of them will win the round here. And whereas in the bottom we have Smiley Bob and Smithy. Rule all losing further health, getting closer to elimination, but Uffy actually missing the bounce and losing a heart. Is Roadtaker knocked out already? No, he has full health. There's just so many players with full health that he's sneaking unnoticed in the mix. But he's here in 5th. Can follow him for round 1 as they go for the mean bounce. Get the front wheel down, speed slide. 480 is really good speed into that loop, and here you can see Roadtaker had 472. Not a bad start by any means, but the speed gains from that trick is so crazy, and he's actually all the way down in the red by not hitting that perfectly. Now passing a lot of players, though, so satisfying. See the car dance past everybody. Oh, someone did fail in the slalom there. And we see Roadtaker about in the middle. What about here? Just at the hot seat, the red 15. Smiley Bob currently occupies the spot. Will Jadon hit the grass? Will he avoid it? He avoids it. And that means Smiley Bob is unfortunately going to be out, taking damage here. Same for Rule and Richo. all out in one swoop. And the remaining players will then have made top 16, if I'm not mistaken. We have our top 16. These players are all going to get to play in the final chance later. Not a bad outcome for them. That match right now is not looking any easier. The final chance match is looking rather stacked, guys. Scrappy, Carl Jr., Tween, New Prime. The list goes on, you know, that there's a lot of stacked players waiting for you in final chance, so. But you do have some time to recover if you get knocked out now. You can warm up. And hopefully come back stronger. Oh, big crash on the left. Epos, I think that was, with the blue car. And Grenadi up in the lead. Was it Epos? No, blue car is Smithy. Epos still barely fine here. And I think he will be more than fine after a couple of drifts. So this is where he really shines. Through the technical parts. Passes one. Kanjika falls down into the red. Now danger for Andy and Monkey. Both of them too far behind to make any comebacks happen on the straight. And they will also be out. So this is a very interesting match. Stylistically different from the previous. Right now, there haven't really been any major upsets. The only really shocking outcome so far is Offie taking 1 damage. That's it. Offie taking 1 damage is like the only thing that has really stood out. The others have all been flawless so far out of the expected favorites anyway. And we will see if that continues. Monkey out, the 100th player. Did secure the bag though. And now can enjoy watching the rest of this tournament. Playing must be fun, but I think the viewing experience is unmatched. Best way to see the best players drive rather than try to drive against them. Now the drift. Look how wide here. Some lines so different from the rest. With all the speed, you barely have time to set up the downhill. Everyone going on this side of the slalom. Now, Offie dropping the gear. Which might become important later. A mistake from Binks. Who is close to the red here. Oi oi. 1/10 away from the red. Spam in the red. Made a mistake in that go-kart part. And yeah, Spam also taking a heart now. Popor taking another, and Smithy and Monta are unfortunately both out. But the rounds are quick here. All within half a second, guys. Now we get to see the golden round. We'll get to see if anyone risks for the heart. Offie could do it. Spam could do it. Kanjika, full speed player, could also do it. Jadon and Popor, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be very hard. I do want to follow Kanjika here for the start. He has multiple world records on the full speed style, Kanjika, and 485 speed. I think that's the highest I've seen today. But the line out of it was not the best, unfortunately, and it's actually Spam here. Going full send for the golden heart. Let's keep up with Spam now and see if he can do it. It's a great drift. Offie is also up there, clearly eyeing the target. Trying to win the round. Epos in the red with only 0.1 behind on that previous check, but now it's Richie and Kanjika. Rotaker going up towards first, but it's still Spam. Oh, touches on the Neo slide on the inside. Rotaker up into first now. Epos close by. And Offie too far, I think, to try to win the round. So no golden heart will be given to a player that has lost health. And unfortunate now for Popor, he's out. Kanjika on 1 health, Mime down to 2 hearts. Close gap there, only 300ths between Jadon and Mime. We might continue to see some of the great players, or good players, but not the greatest players, get knocked out. And then we're left with all the Trackmania Grand League, all the Division 1 winners, all the top of the top players. That's when it's so important to not make mistakes, because they will capitalize. They will not let you get away with a crash and keep all your hearts. Richie with an insane start, fastest I've ever seen on the map. 19.9 checkpoint there. Kanjika almost too wide. Keeping the line though. And now Mime and Offie maneuvering up into the field. They were in the red, but not anymore. At least for Offie. Mime's still in the danger, but good setup for the left here. Should be able to come back a little bit. Still not over. Danger is still looming. Needs the last couple of turns to go his way. Into the setup wide. Tries for the 4th gear line mime and keeps the gear, so he should be more than fine. Wosal though. Oh, also snipes the position. Offie, oh my. Crashes the last turn. Kanjika out. Jadon down to 1 and Offie down to 1. 1 heart left for Offie. That is not something I would predict this early into the match. Let's follow Offie now. See if he can stabilize. The round after you crash is really important. To not let the mistakes continue. To not get in your own head about it. To forget that you've ever crashed. Whew. What a drift. Late apex from Offie there to get such an inside line up into first almost. 19.9 checkpoint here as well. Such a close field. Everyone is here. Last place 1/10 behind only. Down the hill now. Let's follow Spam here. See what he makes of the situation. He knows he has the red number. He knows that he is in the danger and has to risk the end. Can he manage it? Rotaker as well now in the danger zone. They both set up wide. Appos looks like he has an awkward ending, but it's still good enough. Spam passes Jadon, but it's not enough. Spam takes a heart. Wosal also, and Jadon is out. Jadon is out. 54-3 though, the losing time. Insane, guys. It's not just that you're like last, but like it's like you're in an Olympic 100-meter sprint and you didn't run under 10 seconds. It's like, what? You set a phenomenal time, but okay, it wasn't 9.95, so you're out. It's crazy the level that they're competing at here. You have to drive 54-3 to not take damage. It's insane. What's my PB on this map? 54.5. So that's also why I'm trying to put it into perspective. That 54.3 is a rather impressive time, all right? But you already knew that. You don't need me to tell you that. Richie in the red now. Great speed though, coming back through. One of the players that goes a little bit later into the turn and then gets the dive. Now has to jump, I think. No other outcome. Has to jump into the drift. This is gonna cost him time though. Can he get the extra speed? It's gonna be close. Apples falls back. Spam as well. Spam is gonna be out here. And Richie cannot pass another. He loses a heart, but already out for Spam. That was 3 in a row. And yeah, like I said, 54.3 is not good enough. Offie down on 1 heart now. Very volatile for him. It is the final round. Offie was close to winning that previous round. You can regain a life if you get first place. But like we saw, it is also possible earlier, it is also possible to, in the pursuit of that 1 heart that you want to regain, lose everything. So, gotta be careful. Gotta be very careful. Offie is pushing for it though. At least wants to put himself in a position where he has a chance to go for it. Same goes for Appos as he's near the top of the field. Wider setup for Appos, doesn't get that bump, and then a lot of speed down the hill. Late release to go around the apex. Oh, that's a crash out. I think that was not Offie, luckily. It was Wosal, I'm pretty sure. It was Binks. It was Binks crashing out. Rotaker in first, but Appos is chasing, trying to get the golden heart. A little bit wide, not enough speed. Rotaker, dominant. Dominant victory for Rotaker. Oh my. 53.98, and Richie crashing out 2 seconds behind and loses a 2nd heart now. In a row, he's down to 1 health. Any other players on keyboard? Binks is on keyboard. And now my memory doesn't serve me right. Mime is on keyboard. I think the rest are controller. I think Wosal's controller as well. So Binks and Mime. Both tippy-tapping. If you look at the wheels, you'll even see it. It's all just tap, tap, tap. Which you think shouldn't be viable in a racing game with this much precision, but thousands of hours of muscle memory and years of experience will do you good in knowing just how close you can go to the walls. And then you also have another special input device. That is Grenadi on steering wheel. Doing very smooth inputs rather than the tippy-tappy wheels. He's about in the middle here. Let's look at who's in danger. Road Taker a little bit ahead of Richie here. Richie in the danger though. Uffy now also facing elimination if he keeps that spot. Uffy very close to being eliminated right now. It is a coin toss as they go to the bounce on the water pillow. Who is going to make it out of this one? Uffy looks a great bounce and he's going to be fine. Grenadi takes damage and so does Wosal. But my god. 58-7 by Grenadi and he takes damage. 58-5 the winning time. So yeah, Road Taker in the lead. Not a prediction I think many people had. With 3 full hearts still. But Grenadi lost that round only by a few hundredths. Still drove a really good time. See if he goes for the trick here in the start. Actually looks like he avoids it. You can see it results in a 0.7 checkpoint already without using the trick, and that is very close to what they gained by crashing the wall, which has its own risks. So Grenadi trying to go without it. Road Taker's made a mistake here though. 0.2 down. Did happen to notice that. It's actually 0.3 by now, 0.4. Losing some time. Needs to risk the rest of the map to have a chance. It's unfortunate, but it's not going to get any closer here. So it looks like Road Taker will join Grenadi at 2 hearts. But will anyone be eliminated now? Mime down here at 2 hearts himself. Could be 1. Richie, though, is the person he's trying to pass. It's so close. Richie on 1 heart, facing elimination if he doesn't pass Mime. On the last bounce, he goes far, and he misses. I thought he made it. I thought he made it, but he misses the bounce. Risks the jump, and is unfortunately out in 8th. Also, Road Taker on 2 hearts, together with Binks, Apples, and Grenadi. And Mime, wow. Crazy how close it is. Uffy's been on 1 heart for a long time now. Uffy's been down there on 1 heart since 2 maps ago, I think. Still clinging on. But it is sudden death for him. It is 1 big mistake and you are out. 1 missed finish bounce, 1 drift mistimed. Has to be perfect from now on. And he's making it work. Up near the front of the field, into the surf. We see Mime far down into the red, and this match can soon get very tense if both Mime and Binks lose a heart each. 2 of the favorites to win. Mime, though, getting a nice sharp slide and also good nosedive here. He's gonna get a bit closer. It is definitely possible to come back, but look at the differences. Everyone within a 10th. Onto the beach now. Apple's in. The last red spot passes Uffy. Uffy facing elimination if this continues. Mime in 7th now. 6th rather. Passes Uffy. Are they gonna pass anyone on the bounds? Apple's going far, but he makes it and he remains in the clear. Mime down to 1 and Uffy eliminated. Insane round. 0.59 is the last spot in. I don't think we've ever seen pace like this on Splash so far. Fastest round we've seen. 59 and you lose a heart is crazy. Golden round right now. Everyone can gain. We haven't had this until now, but every single player in the field can gain from this golden heart. Especially Mime and Wosal desperately need it. We're gonna see full send. It's a amazing opportunity if you can capitalize and Wosal gets that trick start. 0.58 checkpoint. Far ahead now. He is determined. It is full send or bust, I think, for Wosal here. Yes, determined. He's gonna go for a low 58. And if he can't, he will crash out in spectacular fashion. Mime trying to come back here with sharper lines, but Wosal will have speed here and still stay in first, but it's closer. They have gotten closer to Wosal. The lead from the start remains though. Better line from Mime here. Can straighten out earlier and get more speed there. Now catching up to Wosal. Equal before the last turn. Will it be Mime or Wosal? They're both on 1 heart each. Who is going to get it on the final bounce? Mime lands earlier. Sets up. Wosal jumps further. And Wosal takes it with a 58-4-0. Mime is out by crashing the finish. And Road Taker down to 1 health after being only 0.2 behind. Mime full sent as well. You gotta respect it. Mime full sent for the bonus health. And crash the finish. And then we will have Circuit as the decider. Okay. Good luck to everyone remaining in the match. Only 1 player will be left standing after these rounds are played on aerobatic and on circuit. And we again see a great start from Gennady. It didn't catch the speed, but it is fast. 5:48 here, a little bit slower than in the warm-up, but still good enough. Now look at the gap he's cleared to Epos and Rotaker. They're 0.3 behind before they enter the hangar. You need a great downhill drift here. You need to time the exit. First to the right and to the left, then to the right, and now set up the Neo slide. Gennady on the keyboard now, but Binks, a main of the keyboard, doing it even better. 2 better Neo slides and passing him. Rotaker's made a mistake, and this is the end of the match for Rotaker. I'm pretty sure it is irrecoverable at this point. Rotaker is eliminated. Had a great tournament run here, and will have a chance in the final chance match later, but it's out there in 5th in this match. From this point on, only the slowest player loses a heart though. When we have 4 left, it's only the slowest one. We will focus on Epos this round, see how he handles the pressure. Oh, great trick. It's 480, but it's a diagonal line. It's slightly better than 488, but a straighter line. Sharper line. So he will be in first here out of the full speed part. Binks 0.1 behind. Oh, bad drift from Epos though. Had to hesitate out of the exit several times and changes trajectory, and so he gets caught up to. Oh, great approach here though. Such a nice exit there. Had to make use of the speed by going so wide, and he does. Stays in 3rd for now. It is only 1 player behind him, and that is Binks, who is gonna try the S4D. It's gonna gain him a little bit, but not 0.1. It only gains a few hundredths, and he remains 0.2 behind. Takes damage, and drops down to 1 health. And Wosal here now showing up. Also a player that might have gone under people's radar a bit. 3rd round of aerobatic, and can you believe if we have another player down to 1 heart? This last round on aerobatic then is going to be crazy. We have both Binks and Epos in their final life. Epos with a slow start too, only 5:39 into the long loop. 0.2 behind. Oh, 0.2 behind the others, and a big crash. I think also Binks. No, it looked like with the name tag, he did not make a mistake. Epos DNFs, realizes it's over. Crashes out into the tire stack. And had to, I guess, try already from that point onwards to regain the 0.2 he lost, but not gonna happen. The others are safing, and we enter a top 3 scenario. Great speed slide by Wosal. Should be winning the round with that. 0.63, 0.65, 0.66. I think the players also know, like, it's anyone's game. It's literally anyone's game. There's no saying who wins it. But we will find out. This golden round is so crucial. For Wosal and Gennady, it means jumping up to 3 hearts. For Binks, it could mean jumping up to 2, tying up the match, and someone else then jumping or falling down to 1. Who gets the best start? Gennady with a nice bounce and a good speed slide out. Binks! No! Binks misses the speed slide entry. Has full grip when he steers left and is not ready for it. Crashes out. But the round is not over. We have to see who gets the heart. Who regains health here? Is it Wosal or Gennady into the 1 versus 1? Gennady trailing by a little bit here, and it could be Wosal into the slalom. Has a 2/10 lead, 3/10 now. Down into the tunnel, into the garage. Great setup for Wosal. He should not lose this lead here. It could only happen by touching the grass. He avoids it. And Wosal will be at 3 hearts. Gennady at 2. We skip to circuit. And we see which of the 2 wins this 1 versus 1. Wosal's managed to win 2 golden rounds. You're right, he was down at 1 health earlier. Now he's at 3. Here we go. Momentum also plays such a big role in 1v1s. If you start out with a win, it puts a lot of pressure on your opponent. So the first round could already be very decisive. Gennady with a better start. Not going as close to the walls this time, but still closer than Wosal and more speed. About 0.1 of a lead is building up for him. Wosal coming back. Wosal crashed this turn in the warm-up. Now goes a little safer. You can see Granati maybe extending slightly ahead in the uphill. But here Wosal has equal speed and keeps the gap at that 4 to 500ths range. Down the hill now. Granati still in the lead. Releasing early for Wosal, releasing late for Granati. Better setup for this turn for Wosal, who will come back up into the lead. It is on Granati now to see if he can deny. Oh, goes with so much speed. He will come very close here, since he has 50 gear early and a wide setup. Darda's defense, but it is too wide, and Wosal will take this round with a pretty solid winning time, 54-20. Granati 0.1 behind, and now 1 health left for Granati. Tech, not his main style, but he has to try to make the most of it. 3 match points in favor of Wosal, and also the momentum of the match. So Granati needs to reverse sweep from this point on. Can he do it? Problem is, of course, if you risk too much and hit a wall, that can instantly cost you the match. Yet he dares. He has to, and he dares. And this is a better lead than in the previous round. Already up by 1100ths here. Is Wosal gonna feel the nerves on the turn? He crashed warm-up. Not quite, but Granati's still extending. And better speed this time for Granati. This is a lead that is building up to around 2/10ths. With the setup here and the downhill approach. Granati extending so far ahead. Wosal missing the downhill a bit. Did come back a bit here last time. Granati almost touching the wall. Going so wide. Wosal's getting a lot closer. And Granati, don't think that was the line he was going for. Has to hold on now in the last slide. Has to calculate it. That looks great for Granati. And Granati answers back. Takes a round of his own. 54-14. And Wosal drops to 0.3 now. That's 1. And we have a match. We have a match. And the pace is getting faster. Here we go. Also notice just the micro precision. Granati does some tricks in the start here to get a slightly better downhill. And he's always been like a spoiler or a car ahead into these first drifts. Now Wosal able to do it as well. And Wosal has the better start. Wosal by far with the better start. 0.5 checkpoint for him. Granati trailing a little bit. Great turn by both. Into the uphill, Wosal setting up. Oh, Granati touches, it's over! If Wosal recognizes this, it's over. Granati has made a mistake. It is 1 second of a gap. Does Wosal know? Oh, he knows. Oh, he is safing. Wosal is trying to keep it safe. Cannot touch the wall. Has to not eat the gear. Gets that setup right. Drift wide. Almost touches the wall on the outside. But it's enough. Wosal beats Granati in the finals and takes a spot in the top 8. The channel point economy is going under as Wosal, with an upset victory against one of the favorites, one of the most winning Cup of the Day players of all time in this format, the knockout format, gets knocked out by Wosal. Huge, huge. Congratulations. Granati, though, and the others here will have a chance in the final chance match, which is coming up now, right after this. We're starting. All right, everybody. It is time to take a look. Looks like we have 53 of the 60. Giving it a chance here to try to win this one. They all have 3 hearts next to their name on the scoreboard, right? Every round, the slowest 20% of players lose a heart. And the start here, at 60 players, that is the bottom 12. The bottom 12 players in every race to the finish line lose a heart until we reach 40 players left. Then it goes to 8. And then at 25 players left, it goes to 5. But we're gonna have a lot of players lose hearts, and it is your job to try to not lose hearts. Also, I don't think the map texture's loaded fully for me here. The trees look look like they've rotten in the winter, but they're actually supposed to be like a lush forest. So the trees have not loaded properly for me. But I have modless skids whiskey. Anyway, that is the format. We play till there are 4 players left. We play till there are 4 players left, chat. The 4 last players standing automatically qualify to the in-person final in Milton Keynes. We will have 8 players. We already have Mudda, Pack, Wosal, and Alcon qualifying. They have picked these maps, And now we will see, out of the other players that place top 16 in their matches, who can get top 4 here. This is your last chance to qualify to the playoffs of Red Bull Faster. We will see who can seize the opportunity the best. I said this map was likely picked by Elcon for Mime, and right now in the first round we see Mime in first. Although he gets a little bit of a bad downhill, so we'll get passed by some players. But yeah, surviving in the bottom 12 is actually rather difficult here. 12 players of this caliber do not make such big mistakes, so it's gonna be a bit hard to follow, but we will just have to see. Right now, Tween, the last player in the clear spots by the looks of it. Someone respawned though, and he passes some others, and this is what I mean, it's chaos out on the track. But we will have the last turn now, up to the finish, and it is Uffy winning with a 58.7. Looks like under a minute, which should be the winning time. Yeah, 1:01.420 was the last time that didn't lose any health in the first round. And that's going to get progressively faster. So all the players we see here, including Wosile, but no, that is not right. I think he's spectating. That would not make sense. So Wosile's already qualified. But we're on board with Marmalade. We also saw Tona down there. And yeah, the keys on this map, if you haven't seen it before today, if you haven't seen the qualifier where they played time attack, is to try to reduce airtime on this jump. That will give you like this bouncy landing and maintaining speed across the straight. Marmalade did it almost perfectly and is passing a few cars now. You also have dirt speed slides, so anytime you can straighten out the car to speed slide a bit, you should. Jump low here, get on the right side of the track for no airtime, like most of the players are doing. Speed slide down the hill, do the front flip, and then here in the ending, you have to not slide. No slide into a quantum slide or just a full steer. Marmalade's doing the full steer, works for him. Gets through. But did he lose health here? He was 43rd. Oh, he's just barely fine. Vincent 44th, fine. And wow, look at this, Scrappy losing a health. Already in the match. That is unexpected. And hopefully it doesn't affect him too much in his mental. Mime also losing a heart now. One of the favorites. Trying to see who else we see. I think those are the top 2 players that have lost the health so far. But it is easier said than done to survive here, right? Everyone in the field has trained this map. They've time attacked it for 2 weeks. And so everyone knows the good lines, yet it's hard to avoid crashing. And one crash could send you out into the bottom 12. Scrappy's still surviving here though, now up near the front. And down at the bottom we see Coco, which was a surprise, as he almost won his match he played in earlier. Binks as well, 4-second mistake. Ike Wolf earlier won the previous rounds, and now 5-second mistake for him. Samifying also 5-second mistake. Disaster for a lot of players. Coco should be fine here, passing several on the finish straight. We will see what this does to the scoreboard. It's going to be a little hard to follow until we have some players eliminated. Do we already have our first eliminations? We do. Wosile losing. No, not Wosile. Already qualified. Spectator bug. Mythy, unfortunately, the first to get knocked out. 07 for Wosile, yeah. And Mythy, don't forget. This is the last round of the map. Every last round of the map, you can try to regain a heart by getting first place. Getting first out of 48 of the best Trackmania players in the world is no easy task here. But for Scrappy, it is a necessary one to try to fix his mistake from earlier. He's sending it right now. But it is also scary to do that. He could lose even further. This is a great setup though. Up the hill, trying to get the reduced airtime. Does get that. Trailing Uffy by just a little bit. Otak is also there. But they're all on full health. It's only Scrappy up here that has lost a health. Goes low to the right side. Still 500s behind. Uffy catches up to him and so does Massa. Oh, Scrappy flipping high. Does not get the flip set up. And will get passed by a lot of players here. This is scary. This is suddenly very scary. He's down almost in the danger zone. If he gets passed by a few more, I think he's going to lose further health. But he stays in. Does not lose any more hearts. Skundir and Tween lose a heart. Legu is out. And what else do we see? There's 3 explosions going off, and the RC as well is out. Holo down to 1 heart, Jaka down to 1 heart, Rask down to 1 heart. Is Mika that Mika competing? Yes, that is him. That is the Ice God, and we are going to get to see him on the ice map, hopefully. Alpine, we'll see when it comes up in the rotation. It's right here. It's right here. We have the ice map Alpine with the world's best ice player out on the track. The railing saves little over half a second. Little over half a second. If you miss it, you bounce, you get a bad line, it could lose several seconds. The safe finish is just a regular jump with a slow motion block to make it not worth it. But for safety, with 40 players remaining, I think going for the safe finish is a good choice, especially if your start here is good. If you're upside down, like whoever that was, you might want to rethink your lines. And so, for example, someone like Soldier here now, 47th, has no option but to go for the risky. You have to pass players. You are 1 second behind. That 0.6, 0.7 is going to do so nicely. It's going to extend though. Soldier not getting the best line here. But it applies to Tween as well. It applies to everyone back here. You go for the rail now. You send it. You try your best. See what happens. We're going up to the ending. It is Nighttech in the lead. Player I'm not familiar with. Lingo overtaking now. And now the setup's Tween. Even 1 second behind. Still going for the safe finish. Crazy call to make. And is that going to pay off? He's passed some people for sure. Makes it to safety with the safe finish. Wow. Yeah, so the players who risk the rail, perhaps not the best choice. We are gonna see some knockouts. It's too many players though to keep track of, so let's see what this did to the leaderboards. That is ice cold. No knockouts. Wow. Ice cold to dare to safe when so far behind. Seriously ice cold. And it shows that someone up front now should definitely not risk. But as a player, you are not getting this information. If you are 1.7 seconds ahead of what Tween was, you should not risk. But this is all strategy that they have decided at, right? And another thing to consider is, let's say you're trying to win this match and get the top 4 spots. Well, Alpine is going to come up later again. And at that point, are you going to be too scared to go for the risky because you haven't practiced it? That's also something you have to come to terms with. Like, what is your strategy going to be? Is it better to risk now and get used to the risking? Who knows? We're going to check out Grenadi here in the lead and see what he opts to do. He opts for the safe finish. Skandir, safe finish. Massa, all the players in the top go for the safe. And here it is carnage. It is mayhem on the rail as some players made it. Some players are sideways into the fence. And at this point, we are bound to have some knockouts. Smithy is out. Holo is out as well. Otak and Rotaker, 2 favorites, losing a heart. Watch Baptiste, our Brazilian player. Just for you, we will watch Baptiste 1 round. Let's find Baptiste on the leaderboard. There we have him. This player is known for using crazy car skins, by the way. He does not use the regular stadium car, he uses his custom model, which could be like Lightning McQueen. And he's doing well. Vamos, Brazil. Great turn on the ice. And then into the bobsleigh. Our man is leading. Great call from the chat to spectate Baptiste. He's crushing the entire field. Is he gonna win the round or what? Into the flip, still in first. A little bit high on the flip, not the greatest landing. But he risks. Baptiste with the risky rail lands it. So does Binks, who does the straight line up into the fence though. And Baptiste ends up in the top 6. Very impressive. Tona with a mistake, unfortunately out. Bren with a mistake, down to 1 health. And now more knockouts follow. There could be more than 4. There's only 4. And we are down to how many players? 45. We will keep having 12 knockouts, or 12 people losing a heart until there's 40 left. And look at the amount of players with 1 heart left. Bren is down there. Ixon is down there. Coco is down there. Let's spectate Bren for now and see how he handles the pressure. This is going to be a long match for him with 1 heart. Slides a bit in the start. Skundir as well. Quick recovery. That was scary. Did not get full grip on the platform. And already down near the bottom of the field. In red right now, Bran. Facing tournament elimination. One of the favorites. Got second in his match. Almost won. Now needs to get past a lot of players here to have a fighting chance. The danger zone is at 36 and he is ranked 37 in the lobby right now. 38 before the backflip. He could still afford to save, I think, but we will see what Bren ends up doing. Nice low flip, great landing, a lot of speed, goes for the rail, straight lineup, lands it, hooks the wheels onto it, and can just drive straight into the finish now. Bren is safe. He successfully defended his position, but whew, very intense. That is also an alternative. Going very wide and setting up for the straight rail. The only danger with that is if you bounce off unexpectedly, you're out. Oh, so many knockouts. Walligan as well. We're down to 38, and we have 8 knockouts per round now. We are on circuit. This is the map Pact picked, and he likely picked it for Carl Jr. Any favorite out yet? No, not out yet, but Bren is down on 1 heart. Coco as well, one of the favorites on 1 heart. And Soldier, Scrappy, Skundir, Otak, Rotaker, all down on 2 hearts. Also a little surprising, but not really as dangerous as with 1. With 2 hearts, you still have a backup plan. You still have a chance. With 1 heart left, it's really 1 mistake and you're out. Pope over here, last with only 1 heart, has to pass 7 more players in the last 20 seconds to make it to safety. Same for the others down here. There are some mistakes, some rare crashes here and there, but overall the field is very packed. 0.6 is the gap to elimination right now. Javso last before the end, but he gets it good. He should be fine here. Passing several on the straight. We see Baptiste lose a heart. We see Mika lose a heart. Nighttech out. Even further behind Captain Salmon. Lots of knockouts. Are there more? No. 5 is the number. B-piece, the Brazilians call him. 07. But we can say Bem jogando. Bem jogador. I don't know how you bend the words. I tried. I tried to say GG. Then, yeah, GG in Brazilian. Anyway, back to the race. We are on board with Samifying, who is in the red right now out of the first couple of turns, but I know Sammy is very consistent on this map. He's practiced it a lot, played a lot of rounds on it with other competitors and viewers. So the consistency is there. He should not crash, but question is if he can get the pace now to go past a couple of players. Needs to make it to the 25th position. 27 is the number on the car, but there's 2 players past. He's right on the cutoff. Mime down in last right now. Ooh, Sammy releases though. That is sketchy. No, he's barely in the red by 1 spot. But Peace is out fully. So is Javso. So is Mika as well. Strong round for sure. What was the time there from Sammy? 54.6. And with 25 players, that is still a knockout time. It's crazy. All right. 2 more rounds of this, guys. 2 more rounds. Still 8 players losing lives until we are at 25. We are at 28 right now. And many are on the brink. On board with Mime. 1 health left after that mistake.
Let's go, Elcon.
Hyping himself up by tapping the horn button. Playing a sound of his choice in-game. Great to see. Great to see. Do you gotta find the time for that? Mid-match. And he's doing pretty well. Middle of the field, but now closing in on the top 10. What are we seeing? We're seeing Samifying, by the way. Down in the red. With no more lives left to lose. Sketchy now before the end. Needs to full send. Eats the gear a bit. Oh, it's a strong turn. He risks. He holds full speed. He dares, and he should. Heartbreak. I mean, twice. One spot from in. Twice in a row. 100th away for Sammy. Twice in a row. It can't be possible. Samifying is out. Disaster for Sammy. Just barely not able to make the cut there twice. And as a faster time, it's a 0.5 this time. We also saw Ixon, I believe, eliminated together with Nico. So some more strong eliminations there, and we have whittled it down to 25 players. This means 5 players now lose a life for the remainder of the rounds until we have 18 players left. And we saw a full crash there. That was Auris, who's gonna be on 1 health now, almost guaranteed. And interestingly, Carl with one of the worst starts here. You can see how he drives the map. This is the golden round. Let's remember, Bren is pushing. This is the golden round, and Bren is trying to get 1 heart back. He's been waiting for this round to push an effort through, and he is holding on to it. Binks is there too. Spam also wants it. Bren going low into the turn. That's a nice line, but Binks comes back with more speed and an earlier gear shift. It's equal before the last drift. Bren misses the line a bit, and Binks should have this with the speed. Getting the heart with a 53.99 and climbing back up to 3 hearts. Also, Jean-René, Coco, and Andy Baguette out. We're down to 22 players left. And a shame for Bren there. He really wanted and needed that heart, and 54.02 doesn't fully cut it. Now we're gonna skip map to Splash, the 4th and final map in the map pack. Here we go, cliff dive, and we are off on Splash, the 4th map in this map pack in stage 2. Tricky sentence. We are on board with Musa, one of the favorites who almost pulled through in his match, and one of the favorites to win here, still on 3 health. As we're taking a look soon down at the bottom of the field, Bywalk with a crash, 1 health left to his name. It's gonna be tough to recover from that. Also Granati down here, still on 3. But it's only after this turn that we really get a full understanding of who made it. All the jumps here look good for the top players. Richie really on the tail of the field. McQuattro's made a big mistake. That's gonna send him down into the red. Richie still on the tail of the field. 18th, that last spot out. Can he snipe anyone on the blob? Does the left-right movement, bounces late. That looks good. Rossi too low. And Richie overtakes. So does Marmolotti. McQuattro, Auris, and Hill. No, sorry. Bywalk, Auris, and Hill all losing their last heart and getting eliminated. 5 players still losing hearts in the next round. And it feels like we've already seen a lot of damaging rounds, but still so many good players left. And that will continue to be the case all the way through. Top 20 now. Most important is the consistency. Second then is the clutch factor, the ability to step up and find the pace when it matters in that last round. Lingo down in last now, Richie as well, 2 players who have been flawless so far. Also look at this. Soldier, Marmolotti, and Rossi. Triple knockout possible. Must have made a mistake. That's 1 spot up for grabs. And here comes Lingo back as well. But these players are in severe danger. Soldier trying to go for a high speed line on the sand. Almost makes it back. Right now, Marmolotti's in the safety while Rossi there is not. That is the cutoff. Those 2 players between them. Soldier trying and almost sniping them both, but it remains. Does he? Does he snipe by 1,000th? Huh. 983 versus 984 from Lingo to stay alive in the tournament by 1,000th of a second. Woo. Okay, we have a match. Soldier still in, still kicking. Unfortunately, Marmolotti and Rossi knocked out there. And Lingo losing his first heart. Unreal clutch from Soldier. From the high speed land on the sand until the bounce on the blob. It makes it work. Phew. And I'm glad we haven't had any dead ties yet, because I don't want to have any weird tie breaks. Let's hope there's always that 100th of a margin, 1000th of a margin. That makes it clear who won the round. Next round here, we see Scrappy for the first time in the red on this map. Also Spam, down near the bottom. Great speed here though for Scrappy, and lets the nosedive to land earlier with the front tires. Now around the Red Bull can and onto the sand uphill, also going for that line that Soldier did. High speed, and he should be fine, but Carl and Spam here. Carl might take his first point of damage. It is Lingo up ahead that he has to catch up to. That is 2 cars ahead, and he will not... He will. Whoa, and... Uh-oh. Okay. It looked for a second like we had a tie. Spam finished, and 3 players missed the finish. 3 players missed the finish. Soldier is out now. 07. Lingo losing his second heart in a row. This is the last round. This is the golden round. Lots of players now that are going to look for this win. We know out of them, Bren has fantastic pace. And so I think we'll go on board with Bren and see if he makes a push for it. He did make a push for the previous. There's a mistake back there. Someone crashed that pillar. Not sure who. Lingo also is making a push for this. After losing 2 health, could get back 1. Let's jump on board with Lingo. Can he hold on to this lead? It is not that easy with 16 of the world's best players chasing you. He gets a good water bug slide, sets up nicely for the slalom, pushes the left turn on time, on cue, and oh, doesn't have the speed. DNFs. Thinking it's over, and that is Lingo's tournament over and out, but Mime has a chance now to get a heart back, or it could be Uffy to deny once again. Could also be Grenadi. Otak is there as well with a chance. Mime going in first on the blob, bounces quite safely, and he gets it by 1,000th. Mime restores their health by 1,000th of a second. Also 100th ahead of Uffy. Insane. Tween unfortunately knocked out, so is Lingo. But the gaps cannot get smaller. The gaps cannot get smaller. Winning a round by 1,000th, surviving a round by 1,000th, it's crazy. We go back around. We start where we began this match, on downhill. This time the trees have loaded. Here we go. Top 14. 4 lives lost until 12 players are remaining. Sounds dramatic when you say it that way, but it is in-game. And we have a big crash. I don't know who it was, but someone hit the fence at the start. And that was Otak, who is almost certainly going to be down to 1 heart left. By the end of this round, 3-second mistake at this stage. Hard to see if anyone else would do worse mistakes. McQuater with a bad landing gets passed by everyone. Spam working his way up into safety, but oh, very low ramp cut, very low, too close for comfort. Road Taker has DNF'd, is officially out of the tournament. Must not have gotten that drop down the best. Bren in danger now. Needs a good quantum slide. That connected skid marks we talked about on this uphill goes so close to the left side, has to snap out of it, maybe can get it back here, but did he lose too many positions? I'm not sure. It's close. Oh, he's 1 spot in the clear. Beats Spam by 300ths and stays alive. You can see just how much time he lost, right? When he could not keep the skid marks connected. It's essential on this map. And Mime winning that round shows perhaps why Alcon picked it. So we do see Mime perform so far. 13 players left now with Road Taker out of the mix. Many on 1 heart. Counting 5 or 6. Bren into the fence. And out of the tournament, I think. No recovery from this, unfortunately. That is how quickly it can change. Was so close to gaining back a heart earlier on, but lost the round on circuit by just a couple of hundreds to Otak. No, to Binks rather, and that is the difference. That is the Mardens. 1 crash like that and you're out now. No more health to tank. Still not over here though. The drama continues as Otak and Skundir are also facing elimination together with Richie. They have to pass 1 more player here. Otak still not in the clear fully. It's him versus Richie for elimination, and Otak wins that 1v1. Otak beats Richie in the ending and stays alive as Massa made a mistake that enabled one of them to go through. Skundir and Richie also out. It's 3 players eliminated this round. And it's so unfortunate because now the number of knockouts is going to drop down to 2 again. So 3 until 8. Yeah, sorry, my mistake. 3 until 8. Getting confused. Hard to keep an overview. We still have the 3 players mentioned earlier. Offie, Grenady, and Carl on a flawless. Scrappy hasn't made another mistake since downhill in one of the first rounds. Other than him, Mime and Binks as well on 2 hearts. But it's rough for Otak. He's not out of the woods. He's quite literally in the woods, and not the woods you want to be in. As 1 heart and down in last is very tough against these players. Binks down there as well. Mossa now suddenly at risk of getting eliminated too. Together with Carl on the quarter pipe jump. Does need to pass Carl here though to get to safety. The Quattro's there as well. Mime with low speed. He gets past. Carl gets past. Doesn't get the quantum slide. Great slide by Mossa to stabilize. And Mossa is going to be fine. Otak never got back. Never got out of the woods. Sorry. And he is eliminated in 9th place. 10th place. Now last round of downhill. There is a heart to be gained. If you drive first place here, could also get eliminated if you end up last with no remaining HP. Scary situation. Great start for Scrappy, who is going to push for this, I think. This is one of his best maps. Touches the penalty grass on the outside there a little bit, though. And it is Offie, one of the flawless players with the best start. The downhill drop, better for players like Scrappy, I'd say, as they have the setup here. Scrappy with the upper gear, going to get closer and closer to Offie now. All throughout this part until they turn again. Now the lead is only a 10th for Offie. Offie jumping low. Does he clip? Oh, he barely makes it without any speed loss. Grenady also trailing. 2 players with a flawless score in the top 2. Is Scrappy going to risk here? Is going to try anything? Miquatra's DNF'd. He's out. Binks also on the brink of elimination. No heart to be gained. Can Binks, though, snipe spam here to stay alive? Not happening. And Binks, Miquatro are out. Spam holds on by 0.03 of a second. So that is quite the surprise. Binks out. And Spam into the top 8 with the others here. Now only 2 knockouts per round, guys. And yeah, top 4 go through. So from this point, there will be only 3 more knockouts. Oh no. Oh no, you gotta be kidding. Oh, this has to be so tense for the players. The fact that this map shows up at perhaps the best and the worst time is, well, it's cinema. It's cinema, and we will see how this one turns out. I don't know which strategy will win, but we will find out. Here we go. Only 1 player now loses a life as it is so close to that top 4. Only the slowest one, and so maybe the safe finish is justified with only the bottom 1. Grenady with a touch. That is a second or so lost in exit speed here, because it goes all the way up the hill until here the speed equalizes. And it's actually a little bit less than a second. It's about 0.7, yeah. Has held on the best he could. But Grenady might now change his strategy and go for the risky finish after all. We might see some players that were going for the rail now decide to flip. I don't know. Here we go. I think we're going to catch the players up front first, then look back at Grenady. Grenady's going for the rail no matter what. Nothing to lose for him. Mime and everyone else goes for the safe. Grenady on the rail. Grenady lands the rail. He's going to pass him. He's going to win the round. Grenady, who loses? I think it is Offie who lost the round. Grenady passes everyone. And Offie with 3 health loses on the safe finish and is down to 2 hearts. Okay. Very interesting. I don't think Grenady planned that, but he had to adapt, and he did it masterfully. Next round. Once again, 1 player losing a life. On board with Carl, who we did see made a mistake in the warm-up. He did crash one of the reactor turns after the bobsleigh. Not sure that has gotten to him, but has been very clean so far. And the round he lost the heart in wasn't even a crash. It was Just on pace here though. Bit wide, bit weird line. Almost down in last. It is Spam actually. By 0.8, and you have 1 life left. You have 1 chance, 1 opportunity. You have to go for the risky. And it is still a gap that he can close to someone who takes the safe finish. If he gets the rail, he will catch up to someone. I think if you're Musa here, you should consider going for the rail, and Musa does. Musa feels like he can't afford it. Musa risks the rail. Musa fails the rail. Spam with the safe finish is gonna be fine. He's gonna be fine. Unbelievable. Musa in a very tough spot because he doesn't know what Spam is gonna do. And so he has to go for it. Spam, I think, might have turned cars on, seen Musa go for it, and decided to himself go safe, gambiting that Musa misses. Spam is one of the only players that does cars on. So, that is crazy. That is crazy. Spam corrected to the safe after seeing that. That's crazy. 2 more rounds of this map, guys, and 6 players remain. 6 players remain. We are playing till top 4. Only 2 more knockouts will happen. And who is it going to be? Already a quite slow start here for Mime. 0.2 behind the others. In a way, it almost makes your decision easier. If you are the last player, you are probably going to risk the rail anyway. Now it's Scrappy with a bad ice exit. And he is going to be quite far behind. Great speed here though, so the lead will not get any greater, but needs the backflip and needs the rail, I think. This is Scrappy's time to go all in. Mime with a bad landing. Mime has decided. Oh, he adapts to the safe. Scrappy going for the risky. Scrappy almost landing it, but upside down. And that means no eliminations will happen here. Scrappy loses a heart. And it's down to 1 HP as well. They are all on the brink of qualifying to the semifinals in person in Milton Keynes. Travel accommodations paid for and a chance at playing on the stage in front of spectators live in the audience, and a prize pool of $50,000 up for grabs. And it is heartbreak potentially for some of the players now, as someone has to be 6th, someone has to be 5th. And all of them want to make sure it's not them. A golden heart up for grabs now. If you win the round, if you hit the risky rail and you win the round, you can regain 1 health and potentially have a much better chance of survival. But there are so many players on low health. I don't think Carl's going to go for it. I don't think Offie's going to go for it. If anyone, it has to be one of the players with 1 heart, with nothing to lose at this point. Someone like Mime, Scrappy, or Spam might see this as their only opportunity back in the match. Definitely Mime at this point. Has to go for the rail. Is he going to be able to hit it? What is Spam going to do in 5th? Can't use the knowledge of seeing Mime ahead of him to know what Mime decides to do. We're up at the end. And here we go. Granati going safe, Spam going, all going safe! All players are going safe! Granati likely to deny the heart steal, and who is out? Scrappy and last! It's gonna be Scrappy out! By only 1/100th of a second, you gotta be kidding! Actually updated, it is 1/10th of a second. The leaderboard on the left, not fully up to date. 1/10th, it was a bigger gap, but very unlucky for Scrappy. 2 spots away from qualifying directly to the final. And the last round of the most volatile map. So close. Here we go, everyone. Get some hype in the chat. This could be the last round of stage 2 of Red Bull Faster. Only 1 more elimination will take place. Who is it gonna be? We are on board with Mime. 1 heart left, and in last place on the first checkpoint, but makes it back. Now it is Spam in the hot seat with that red number on his car. Drift down the hill. Did Spam hit this? He did, but he's losing ground to the other 4. Slightly less speed on the uphill drift as well. It's a 0.1 gap. And now you gotta start pulling some punches. You gotta go risky into these chicane drifts. He does get a good line here and gets closer to Granati. Low line, Granati going high. If Granati misses the line, he could get back a lot of time here, but Granati hits the outside approach and gains more time. Spam eats the gear. He crashes the wall, and Spam... Oh! It's not over! Granati crashes! Ah! I thought it was over. Granati's back wheel makes contact, and Spam has another chance. Spam has another chance at victory. Grenady just barely clipping the wheel there. And can you imagine now if Spam makes it through? Can you imagine if Spam somehow makes it through? He's given another chance. He has to not squander it. Can you make use of it? Can you calm your nerves? I am nervous. I am shocked by what I just saw. I can't imagine how the players are feeling. But Spam has the best start into this round. It's looking a lot better for him. And now it is Mime down in last. Again though, tied with Spam, but this time they both get better exit speed and they are at least a little closer. But it's a similar situation. Spam is near the bottom here, and the others are pulling away into the chicane. He does hit the approach here nicely. And now we will again see Grenady and the others perhaps go high. This time Spam goes very low. Carl has a hard line to adapt to. Spam will get closer. Can he get all the way? Uffy, one car length away. Spam with a good line. It's a little bit low speed. He's gonna get passed by many, but not by all. There's one player behind. It's Carl, down to 1 health. Spam has survived another round, and Carl now with only 1 heart left. Everyone driving a 0.1 there. That is the time you needed to be safe. 0.15 to be safe. Insane. Insane. 2 rounds left of circuit. It could possibly go all the way, but it would be insane. Uffy and Grenady looking strongest right now to make it to the finals. But never say never. Carl Jr. with a little bit of a bumpy landing. We'll put him down into last. And downhill drift. Lowest speed out of the bunch as well. Still in last. Better speed here on the long drift, but the result remains. He passes Grenady though. Looks like he has a better line now. No mistakes thus far into the chicane. Who's gonna get the best approach? That's a very slow approach from the Australian car, which is, I think, I can't see him. Grenady in the last right now. Grenady with 2 health. Can't afford to tank 1 loss if it so happens, but someone crashed. Someone crashed on the outside turn. Who was it? Who crashed? Mime has crashed and Mime is out. And the top 4 are in. We have Carl Jr., Spam, Uffy, and Grenady advancing to the in-person finals, where they will play against Mudda, Pack, Vocile, and Elcon. Those are our top 8. Insane stuff. Insane stuff. Spam there makes it because Grenady crashed. Spam makes it to the top 8 because Grenady crashed. Literally crazy. There's probably a clip there we gotta take a look at of his reaction to it. Next checkpoint, still in last, toggles the car, sees the gap.
No, I dropped my gear.
Crashes.
No way! Thank you, Nico! Mwah, 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 mwah. Yeah. Shut up!
Insane!
What
Insane!
the fuck are you mods doing? You guys are so
And then he somehow makes it through. I gotta see his reaction too when he makes it. But he played masterfully. Like, the strategy came through, right? Also an Alpine.
I made it. I made it. Yes! Yes!
You're awesome. Max 2K just give
He still got it.
Fuck.
He still got it. Like, that is insane. Literally crazy that he managed that. But that's what it takes. Gotta make some decisions, gotta stand by them. And Spam joins the final.